What's good, everybody? Dexter Henry here for another live Knicks watch party for the playoffs. Game 4, Knicks Pistons going down. Got my guy, Bryan Fonseca. And we got our guest this week, pride of Syracuse University, pride of The Ringer, pride of SNY, my guy, John Jastremski.
That's one hell of an introduction, by the way.
I try to give people good introductions.
I feel like I need that now when I do like gala. If I ever do a gala or something, I got to bring you out and introduce me.
Hey, man, if it's paid, I'm there.
Done. I don't know how many galas I'm getting these days, but you know.
We'll have to have my agent talk to you. We'll figure all that out.
Because that's one hell of an introduction.
I try. You want to be the pride. Nobody wants to be just the person associated with something. You want to be the pride.
Absolutely.
You want to be the pride. You're the pride of St. Francis. You know what I mean?
St. Francis, Brooklyn.
Yes.
Brooklyn, yeah. That's where I went.
He is the pride of St. Francis.
That's where I went. Yeah, well, formerly. But
that's where we.
Well, my old baseball coach, who in high school was one of the standout baseball players at St. Francis.
Who?
Galaxy far ago. You definitely do not know him, Chris Dodonna.
Okay, no.
Tremendous hitter.
I'm
shouting out Coach
St. Francis, former baseball players, but baseball was also out by the time I got there.
I mean, I played high school baseball in the mid-2000s, and he coached. That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Gotcha. Where'd you play high school baseball?
Treaties baseball.
Oh, okay.
Small public school on Staten Island.
Okay.
That's right.
I actually knew. Okay. No. Got it. But we're here to talk Knicks.
We're fired up. Let's go.
Let's go.
This is an interesting game. Knicks with a 2-1 series lead. JJ, we were talking about this, you and Bryan. You guys are not feeling that good about this game. I'm feeling a little bit better about this game than you guys might be.
Well, listen, I hope that your feeling and your intuition is way more accurate than mine, to be honest,
we'll see.
We talked about this before we got on the air.
Yeah.
The fact that they opened this game Thursday night at Detroit or Knicks laying 1, and now we're sitting here, the game's about to be tipped off, and Detroit's favored by 2.5. Doesn't that tell you something?
Yeah, for people who didn't follow this, like the line for this game, betting-wise, immediately opened up at Knicks -1 and flipped to Detroit -2, 2.5. So basically, people in Vegas think Detroit's going to win by.
That's not the public coming in betting that money either.
Right.
Those are the wise guys coming in betting that money.
Because it was early. It was an early just flip. Okay, the public wouldn't flip it that dramatically that quickly. So that's something to watch for. Also, we do have bets on this game. We were talking about this before. None of us play the spread. We're all.
We might live. Hey, maybe I see a number I like live. I want to jump in, but
see how
not right now.
Goes, but
I did money. I hit the money line.
So I took.
Oh, Dan Campbell's there.
Oh wow. That's interesting. So I took Dennis Schroeder over 11.5 points. He's been doing it this series. The bench has a hard time with him. The Knicks bench, that is. Malik Beasley over 13.5. I think he has a bounce back performance. I'm sure the Knicks don't want that to happen, but he had 12 last game and he did it on a lot of volume. I think the same volume could be there and he can get that over. And then other than that, I just play Karl Anthony Towns over 1.5.
That's a family play. I'm on that too. We got that right before the start of the game.
I parlayed that with Mikal Bridges over 2.5 assists. Thought that number is still too low. We'll see how that goes.
I'm glad you didn't go near the point total with him.
15.5.
It scares me.
Too dicey.
I don't know how that's going to go.
Straight overs, but that's where it's like, oh man,
too dicey.
Yeah,
but you can see you have the 2 straight overs. You start feeling yourself a little bit and take that bet, and then it goes.
Just get the ball at Cat. He needs 20+ touches in this game.
I agree.
I like that. I like that number for
Look,
touches.
There's one.
And a score.
Nice start.
So they started with Tobias Harris on him again. Remember, Tobias Harris has been guarding him most of the series. He had foul trouble early last game, and they went right to him again here because they had Jalen Duren on him, and Karl Anthony Towns was taking him to the basket. It wasn't working out. It's too fast for Jalen Duren.
I like that number from JJ with the 20+ touches there. I really like that there.
And it's almost, it's interesting with Brunson.
Ooh, good defense.
You almost think with point totals with him, if you're seeing him only in the 15, nice.
Ooh.
Gotta love aggressive OG.
Okay.
When you see Brunson only getting 25 or 15 to 20 shots, it probably means advantage Knicks because it means the other guys are really getting involved.
That's a good point.
I agree.
And I think that's what fans want to see. They want to see a ball spreading around.
You also want to see Tim Hardaway Jr. taking quick threes like that. I don't like the way
aggression.
I was going to say I don't like the way the Pistons have come out in this game at all. The Knicks look like they really want to make this 3-1. To your point earlier, I think if Jalen Brunson is too much ISO, Jalen Brunson is not a good thing. I think you need to get other guys involved and have everybody moving without the ball.
And listen, at the end of these games, when it's close, that's when he can go and be the man. And listen, that's how the Knicks are built to some degree, but it just can't be him milking the shot clock. Towns was doing it too the other game, where it's like you had some bad possessions in the fourth quarter. Move the ball.
Nice. Ooh.
I mean, that's a shot you got to hit.
Yeah, I thought Bridges had it.
That's shades of game 2.
But you saw 2 possessions, guys, where they're definitely looking to try to go inside. Check and see what fans are in here.
Oh,
Any predictions for this game?
Jalen Duren hitting that pass is interesting. He doesn't always hit that pass well. And that was
somebody in the chat said they're a Heat fan who's here because of you.
That's interesting.
Are you a Heat guy?
No.
He's done work around the Heat. He's not a Heat guy.
It's interesting because I root for the Dolphins. So people sometimes think I root for the Heat, and I'm like, no. And so as someone who grew up in the 90s with, Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson and Van Gundy on the leg, I take that personally. Yeah, I do.
It's funny. I always know.
I do like how the Heat organization generally operates, but I hate their current team because Jimmy Butler is no longer on it, and they bungled that whole experiment.
Ooh, I'm 3
he can take that shot all day.
Yeah,
he can take that all day.
It's funny, JJ. I know that you are a Dolphins fan, but you're a Dolphins fan because you were a Marino fan.
Marino fan, yeah. I have no ties. Nobody in my family is from Florida.
Okay,
yeah, I just grew. And also, you got to remember,
the Jets.
If you're born of a certain age demographic, like I'm beyond the age of LT, Parcells, and the Giants, like winning the 86 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So like when I grew up, the Giants were boring and stunk. The Jets were co-tight and were beyond embarrassing.
I wasn't a fan at that time.
Marino was fun. I mean, I could have been like I had front runner Cowboy fans and Niner fans in my life, but I chose the Dolphins.
See, this is like me with the Knicks when I'm growing up. It was like Jerome James, Marbury.
Oh yeah,
Othello Harrington.
I wouldn't have been. I tell you this right now: if I were a kid, I wouldn't have been a Knicks fan. Not with those teams. They can't guard him.
He's got to play like
they
that.
can't guard him if he's aggressive.
Yeah.
Can't guard him.
No, they have to. If the Knicks are able to have the Pistons in a position where they need to send 2 to Towns, then that's great for them.
Mike was yelling for that foul.
Well, I hate the way the Knicks are rebounding here. That's been a problem.
Yeah, you saw Mitchell Robinson the last game where he had so many rebounds in his hands, getting it taken away.
It's like grab the ball.
The Pistons are good.
He
that's
got
a foul.
There.
That's
he absolutely got fouled there.
The Pistons are good at the second effort stuff. I think
they are.
Really what it is. But that's what Josh Hart is for. And I feel like Josh Hart hasn't been as impactful as I thought he was going to be in this series.
That's interesting.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. He fills up the stat sheet. His last year, I had so much more confidence. He'd be outside in the perimeter. He'd hit that shot. Now, if he's open from 3, I don't want him taking the shot, even if it's open. I got no confidence.
He doesn't even shoot it.
Look, he's afraid to shoot it.
He's afraid to shoot it. He's been like that second half.
He's got skittish.
I feel like he's had a good series, though. He's probably been, in a way, the most consistent Nick. Now, I agree with Brian that he hasn't probably been as impactful as you thought, but he's
doing what he's supposed to do. I get that.
Now, would you like a little more? Brian, is that what you're saying? You like a little more from him?
Yeah, I mean,
I get that.
Yeah, because also the way the defense is playing him, it's like, yo, you're going to drive. You're not going to shoot. And there's possessions where that kills the Knicks offense. Look, see, Jalen Duren, and that's the other thing, too. Jalen Duren is basically guarding Josh Hart. That's not good for the Knicks in terms of generating offense.
The Knicks are making a concern.
That's where Bridges got to work, dude. That's where he's got to work, that mid-range.
Yeah, but the Knicks are really making a concerted effort to go inside. I like how they're playing this game so far. I do like the way they've come out in this game. I do like it.
That's too easy for Cunningham. Too easy. Make him shoot the ball from beyond the arc.
Now, the issue is going to be, can the Knicks build up a good enough lead before Beasley and Schroeder get in there? Because they haven't won the bench minutes in this series.
They have not one game.
Well, and that was the way it was in the regular season. The regular season, they killed them.
Yeah.
The starters' minutes.
Cat's got to finish that.
The only silver lining with that is, as we know, Tibbs is not exactly dying to get the bench in the game. That's great play.
That was a terrible pass.
That's not a foul?
Interesting.
Wow.
I thought they were going to call that for sure.
How is that not a foul?
Well, and you know what was annoying about the other game? And listen, if
you're
going to call it,
I'm so tired of this.
The same. They let them play like it's a pickup game at Rucker Park in the first half. And in the second game, we are literally calling every ticky-tack foul.
I want to ban.
Can't have it both
I want to
ways.
ban NBA players from doing this.
Please ban.
Like, eject them immediately if you just see the finger wag. Like, I'm so tired.
Or just throw them a tee.
Did you see?
You know what?
This
That's
play?
what it should be. A tee. Only coaches can do this. No more players.
And I'm pro player on like most things, but listen, the finger wagging shit is just out of control.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of it.
It's also like, if you saw just now, fans were doing it because Cade Cunningham and whoever else was doing it, and I'm like, oh my god, the challenge. I'm like, I understand we want to get calls right, but I'm good on challenges just in general. Like, I don't need them in the NBA. The NFL, I feel like they're more acceptable.
Nothing is, and I watch a lot of college basketball. Nothing is worse than the college. College, not only do they do that, they review everything for 40 minutes.
Yes.
It's like
as someone who
Van Gundy, who was doing the games for Turner, you could tell if they're like watching 2 college games. He's like, I can't with this shit. I can't deal with it.
It's so true.
I can't deal with it.
As someone who used to cover St. John's, the media timeouts would kill me.
Every 4 minutes.
And even at St. Francis, we would have media time, like when they would play their bigger games, when they would go to St. John's or they would go to this school or that school or whatever, like Colorado when we went that one time or whatever. Like it would always be media timeout after 12, after 8, after 4. Sometimes you have 16.
As somebody who does play-by-play, I'm not a fan of it at all. It annoys me.
What breaks up the flow?
Yeah, breaks up the flow of the game. Not a fan of it. Yeah,
and you already have how many timeouts per half?
Yeah, it's
one hot take though about college. I like the 1-and-1.
Oh, I don't.
I do. I would do it later. I don't like the idea of because it spices it up at the end of the game.
If you were to throw it in an NBA, where would you put it though?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
It does spice
just because these guys are so automatic from the foul line.
So you like the added pressure?
Yeah. I don't know how you would do it. I don't want to see guys more. I don't want to see guys shooting more. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to turn it into a parade at the free throw line over the last 8 minutes of the game.
But you want that pressure on the first.
Kind of like it. For some guys, it ain't gonna matter. Like Curry ain't gonna matter.
I've thought about this too, like the 1-and-1 in the NBA. If you did it only in the fourth quarter, maybe, or something along those lines.
You know, the more I think about it, I'm not.
Maybe do a bonus and a double bonus. Maybe. I don't know. Something I didn't expect to talk about today that I brought up.
Yeah. Free throws for people who are confused. Like in college.
I'm thinking about it. My initial reaction was no, but now it's sitting with me more, and I'm like,
yeah. No, it's in college where
I like stakes and pressure, so I like this.
Just so people know, like if they're lost or whatever. Just in college, when you get to a certain amount of fouls, I think it's 5. You get a 1-and-1, so you shoot 1 free throw. If you miss, then you don't get the second free throw, and if you make it, you get the second free throw. Then there's a double bonus where you just shoot 2 free throws standard. And in the NBA, it'd be very interesting because the problem is though, someone like Mitchell Robinson would be just unplayable down the stretch of games because it's like we'll just foul you every time and try to see if you just miss that first free throw.
Right, because
because you don't get
the percentages are that you will lose that possession.
Yeah,
dude, how about Duran? 7 rebounds already in this game.
What?
I didn't realize that.
Already.
I didn't look at his rebound over hard.
I just checked on Twitter. That's the only reason I know.
That's so bad.
Did Cat touch that?
That's a bad. If Detroit challenged that, that's a bad challenge. Way too early in the game to be challenged.
I would never use my challenge. I would never use my challenge
in the first quarter.
Never.
Yeah, Duran's got 7 rebounds.
The ball was last
nice challenge, Bickerstaff.
Yeah. You can't. Your face can't look like that if you did it. You guys should have known. That was a bad challenge.
Bad challenge.
What was the point?
Even just
of
from timing, like you said. What's the point?
You're not talking about a guy picking up a second or a third foul where it's like, hey, I really need to protect him.
You can't. I understand Kate Cunningham was demonstrative like this, but
it's 10-8 in the first.
10-8 was
you
6-2
can never. We were talking about it earlier. You
Yeah.
never listen to a player. The only guy you should be trusting is somebody who's in your ear with the video review.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only guy I want to hear about.
I feel you on that.
Because a player is always going to say they're right.
Yes. Yeah.
Whether they're right or not is besides the point.
Coaches too, by the way. Like we shouldn't have challenges just in the NBA. I don't think. I'm starting to just get really annoyed with it, and it just disrupts the flow of the game. Everyone's doing this every play. Just like I'm good with it. We did it. It's fine. Get rid of it.
I'm not against it.
I think the 1 is fine.
I think you know what, but you know what I'd like. You can only use challenges in the second half.
I was okay.
Don't need him in the first half.
Don't need him in the first half. Get rid of him in the first half. Because there is a late game situation that I think you should have the chance.
You want to have it get right.
Yeah, I want to have one get right. Give me one get right. But we don't need to. We're doing this with 6:52 in the first quarter.
Yeah, let the game breathe. Let the game breathe a little bit.
Right.
I get that.
What are we doing? Come on now. East Blue Drew in the chat said, use it early. We don't care. Yeah, the Knicks fan is not going to care. I hear you. I do like this going to Cat. I do like that they're going to Cat on the block. He's getting good position.
And now they're sending the double early. But look who's there. Look who's there to shoot.
And he's got
There you go. There you go,
Mr. Hart.
Top of the key. Like you can't get an easier 3 than that.
Yeah, but you see, last year you brought this up, JJ, against Philly. He was taking
and
the shot,
Indiana. I mean, listen, he had 2 monstrous threes in that Philly series. Game 1 at the Garden, and then he closed out Game 6
with that big 3.
Monster threes, and he was confident about his jump shot.
He hasn't had the
Not that he's a
confidence.
great shooter, but like you can't be a liability out there.
Yeah, you can't.
It's amazing how you go through these playoff series and you just grow to really like dislike a team. I feel like that's me with the Pistons.
I mean,
Just like it was last year with the Pacers and Philly.
but we
you just,
need
like,
that again. We need that again, right?
That was just me last year, just
these
watching
teams where you dislike them again.
That was
I think
me
the
last
NBA
year
needs
watching
more
the
of that.
Celtics. The Celtics just were annoying.
Well, I'm
last year.
telling you right now, I'm dreading playing the Celtics.
Oh boy, you want Orlando to drag that
Nice.
series?
That's it. This is an
Wow,
excellent
Knicks
start.
with a 10-point lead.
It's an
This is a
excellent
great
start.
18-8. Oh boy. Okay.
I mean, right now they got to just keep free. Is that Dern again?
That was
Yeah.
Dern again. I'm keeping my eye on those.
Or was that
rebounds.
Paul Reed? They put Paul
No,
Reed.
that
again.
was
That
Dern.
Dern.
That's Dern
Dern.
still.
Paul
Yeah.
Reed's been killing the Knicks though.
Paul Reed ain't that big. Back to
Get it to Cat. Get it to him.
I like the spacing here.
why is
Somebody getting on the
Duran
weak
so
side.
high on Josh Hart? That's curious.
Bad pass.
That pass.
Interesting.
That spacing was all messed up. There's 3 people on the strong side. Somebody's got to get to the weak side there.
It's a great call. Look at this fast break. Jalen Brunson immediately. All right, I'm going to space the floor.
Still like this start. Still like this start for the Knicks. Jalen Duran is 9 rebounds. That's 9 boards.
Jalen Brunson's points prop went up to 29.5 before the game.
You can't make those props high enough. That's the problem.
That's
I was
true.
going to take it too, but I was
Especially at the end of the game where he's going to be shooting foul shots potentially.
yeah.
Mhm. That's a
I
good
think it
point.
opened at, I want to say it opened at 27.5.
Oh,
They
don't-
Schroeder again, man.
you know what? I like
Wow.
I like that the ref didn't get baited into
Did a foul call.
Not
foul
enough
call there.
contact.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
It's amazing this guy can't land like a permanent home on a team. See, the problem is he ends up going from good team to bad team. Like he could be a starter
Yeah.
on a bad team. He's the perfect shooting it again.
Wow,
Oh.
this
Hey,
might
you
be
took-
the Josh
you took
Hart game.
Hart 2+ made threes. You cash a nice
Cashed
ticket
it.
plus money.
Uh-huh.
did.
His over-under was half a 3. So if you did take the alt, that was plus money.
Nick Ball. Beautiful.
Wow, this I think is huge for the Knicks. That Josh Hart has hit 2 threes, 3 or 4 from the field, 8 points.
I think Detroit looks frazzled damn near. They haven't looked at like they're in a rhythm at all. And the Knicks kind of just punched them in the mouth early in this game offensively, like immediately in the first couple possessions.
Well, it's a good day for my soccer team.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations.
Are you?
I'm not. No, not really.
Not
I don't get
EPL
into
guy.
it.
Okay, Liverpool wins the title, 5-1 win over Tottenham.
The Premier League title?
I want to get into it. I really do. I just feel like I missed the boat, number one. And I feel like as someone that annoys their significant other with the amount of crap that I watch,
You can't have another thing to
combined
add.
with the fact that I like that I'm addicted to being out on the golf course, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to give it one more. But then again, with a baby coming, I might be up early in the morning. Maybe I'll start watching.
The problem is your baby's coming soon.
Yeah.
And the season's ending right now.
All right. So it's always next year.
Yeah, it's always next year.
I mean,
Sometimes.
unless, you know, I know you're down on the MLS, but some people do like it.
Don't do that.
That's the only thing
You
that's
can
going.
watch. You can watch better soccer.
See,
than
but that's
that.
the thing. That's like nighttime. That's going to be competing with like my
Yeah.
baseball and
Yeah.
my. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What was that?
OG,
What?
OG fumbled the handoff.
McBride needs this, and he got it.
Wow.
There you go.
The guys who need to hit shots are hitting shots for the Knicks. McBride needs it.
Detroit's been
Damn, I
winning.
should have took that McBride over 3.
You know what? They're working, but what they're doing is they're working inside out.
Yes.
And they're getting good. They're not forcing threes. They're getting good
Yes.
looks from 3.
Let's
Yo,
see.
this is like some of the best day I've seen them in attacking the paint. and
Tremendous
kicking
start.
out. And I don't even know what their total assists are.
They're
I'm just
4 or
looking at that
5
now.
from 3
7.
with 7 assists.
Yeah,
in
I
the
like the ball
first.
movement. Meanwhile, Detroit has 2 assists.
And Detroit's 0-4 from 3. And Detroit's shot better from 3 leading into this game. Like they were 4 percentage points better. They were shooting 38.5% from 3. And the Knicks are like 34%. So if that flips, then this series is going to be over.
Look,
Like,
bottom line, Knicks are a better team.
They
They're
are.
more talented. They
Yeah,
are the
they are,
better
absolutely.
team in this series.
Absolutely.
They are. They have the best player. People would put Cade. There's some people that were trying to put Cade first, which is kind of crazy to me.
He's got to
But-
earn that. You
yeah.
got to see it in a playoff series. He's a tremendous talent.
Yeah.
But it's his first time playing in the playoffs.
He's either second or third. I would still say third for now. But regardless,
Mhm.
even if you want to say he's second, the Knicks would have the next, I don't know, 5, 6 dudes, but then it'll fall off a cliff. after that. Like, because Detroit's depth is really good, but you're talking about OG Anunoby, you're talking about Mikal Bridges, you're talking about Josh Hart. Maybe it's not 5 or 6, but they would have 4 of the top 5 guys in this series.
Yeah.
And then from there, the Pistons would start to have, like, so that's where they need to make this up, is they need to go on a run with their bench and generate the threes. But the Knicks, if they shoot like this will be over quick.
Are you guys feeling any better about this with this start? Because you guys were skeptical.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can feel worse, but the only thing I would say, Dex, got a long way to go.
Mhm.
Yes.
These NBA games, I mean, if I need to give you a better example, how about the Clippers and the Nuggets yesterday where the game was over?
Yeah.
The Nuggets were on autopilot, and all of a sudden, boom, they're losing.
Anything can happen. A
Or-
run's going to happen.
or-
NBA games, these runs are crazy.
Or-
College, you don't see it as much.
That's true.
You
Or-
don't.
because they don't shoot as well. Or Oklahoma City and Memphis, game 3,
Yeah.
where Memphis had that big lead.
I guess the difference there, though, is Memphis from a talent, they're a much weaker team.
Yeah, and they lost Ja, but
There's no Ja in that game, right? After the second quarter, right?
I'm glad that series is over. I don't need
Me
to watch
too.
any more games of that series.
Are we glad Cleveland Miami's over too? Both those
just
are done?
about. Yeah.
Honestly, these series that suck, I don't need to see more games.
Yeah.
Even Boston, Orlando, and now that series is a little different because from a Knicks standpoint, I hope it goes as long as possible.
Let it go 6.
Let the Boston
Orlando-
guys get beat up a little bit.
I'm not sleeping on Orlando for game 4. I'm not.
They're big. They're still, what are you getting, 7.5?
And going into the series, now Jalen Suggs is out, but going into the series, Orlando had won 6 of 9.
They're playing tough.
Because they defend Boston better than anybody else in the league. Because Boston generates by far the most threes in the NBA, and Orlando is the best.
They're not
at
going to
taking
the
away.
They're the best at taking that away. The problem is
They
Jalen
can't
Suggs.
score.
Jalen Suggs, they
just
can't
can't score.
They just can't score. They can't. They have to do too much. But if you can keep Boston in the 90s like you did in game 3, then you give yourself
Well,
a
you
shot.
got a shot.
Yeah, and if you keep, I mean, the Celtics, we ran a story about this where the Celtics are just complaining about like the physicality of the series because guys are getting like Jaylen Brown's gotten hurt, Tatum missed the game, Porzingis had the cut.
Right.
But I mean, it's just a physical series. They're a physical team, and that cut was not on purpose.
Pat making a trip.
Pat, you were making PE 33 making the trip.
Isaiah with the suit. I mean, come on.
Ben
On
Wallace.
Chauncey
Billups, Ben
you know,
Wallace?
bone to pick here.
Oh, I like a bone to pick.
Okay.
Why do I need to see specifically Jalen Rose at a Piston? Nick, you did not play for the Pistons.
He's a Detroit guy, though.
It doesn't matter.
Right,
That's like I don't know. There were New York guys who don't play for the Knicks. Like I don't want to see. I'm trying to give you an example of a New York guy
that
who-
played.
like
in
Mark
the
Jackson
league.
played for the Knicks, so it's bad. It's a bad example, but like he's a pacer. I'm
Rod
sorry.
Strickland.
No,
Oh,
he
he did
played
play
for the Knicks.
Sorry,
He was good with it.
I'm trying to think of a
Trying to think of a guy who grew up.
Lance Stevenson.
Yeah, great example.
Lance Stevenson, my guy.
Love Lance Stevenson. I would not want to see Lance Stevenson in a Knick playoff game.
You don't want to. If you, what,
You're not welcome.
Do you not want to see him there, or you don't want to see him courtside and being shown?
Correct.
Okay, I got you.
He
If
wants
he's
to
in
go to the
building,
game.
doing
More
his
power
thing,
to him.
okay.
Great. But like if you're the Garden, do not show him on TV like, hey, or like that. It's like, oh, we got New York royalty here. It's like, no. This is for the Knicks. Just like Isaiah, Bill Laimbeer, Joe Dumars, Chauncey Billups, great.
Right, Ben
Great.
Wallace,
Ben Wallace, of course. 3-time defensive player of the year, by the way.
Jalen
Or
Rose.
4. I think.
That bothered me.
No, yeah,
Like even Chris Webber, he did play for the Pistons
He
for
did.
like a year or
That's
two.
true.
he did.
Although he's not a Piston.
I
He's
think he
a
was
Sacramento.
was
King.
wearing. Wasn't he wearing like number 94 or something like that?
You know what I'm saying? Like these are Michigan guys. Like if it were a Michigan game, absolutely, I get it.
Oh.
I,
Knicks got away with
Go to
one
a
there.
Lions game.
I
You
think-
understand?
Yeah.
Go to a Lions game.
I will say this: there's a way if you're the Pistons or any team like that. There's a way you do it, but you have to put them with other people who are.
Because remember,
from
I
the
mean,
area.
Indiana and Detroit, they had the friggin' brawl, the mouse at the Palace. They were
And
killing
Jalen Rose
each
was
other.
on the other side.
I don't know
That's
if he was
true.
still on that
Was he still on
team
the
at
team?
that
I don't
point.
remember.
No,
Yeah.
he might have been with the Bulls.
Bulls of the Knicks.
Yeah.
God. Those eras. That whole,
Or the
like,
Raptors.
literally from 2002 to 2010, I want to blank out any Knick year from my memory.
I did. I don't remember anything. I
But
don't remember
that's the
anything
era.
much
That's
about
the
it.
that's the era of Knick basketball I grew up watching.
Well, and then you had like 3 solid years, and then you went back to that until 2021. I mean, I used to do radio shows
That's right. Yeah.
from like 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Like by the time you hit February after
Yeah,
the
all
trade
season's
deadline,
over.
there was nothing to
Let's
discuss.
discuss.
yeah.
There was nothing to discuss.
I'll tell
The
you what.
Alexi Shved era.
The Knicks also noticed that they should bring back nobody from that era to be around the team. Now, even
Except Carmelo. I mean,
No, Carmelo is
obviously.
acceptable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Carmelo's
no, I was talking
acceptable.
about from like 02 to 010.
Oh,
Listen,
Marbury.
and even listen, we lost Stephon. He's New York
I do.
royalty.
New York royalties.
But it didn't go well. I
refuse. So we
understand.
did on the pod.
You never won a playoff.
I
game
put
with the Knicks.
together a list of the
Uh-uh.
top 10 Knicks in my lifetime. Now, it's very subjective. There's
Okay.
no criteria for it.
Okay.
I refused to put Marbury
I
on
saw
the
your
list.
list. I saw your list.
Because
yeah.
I am not going to reward a guy who played on dog crap teams and was the face of that. No offense. Same with Nate Robinson and David Lee. I love those guys. Sorry.
And never won a playoff game.
Yeah,
With
no.
Marbury also.
Only went to the playoffs once.
And they got swept by the Nets.
Here's the Fugazi series.
You can't put him over. It was the Fugazi. You can't put him like on my list. You're going to put him over a guy like Anthony Mason? No way.
So Josh Hart taking contested threes.
There you go, Mitchell Robinson.
He got fouled. Thank you.
Here's my thing about what you just said. And Brian knows this about me. He's known me a long time. If you're going to make lists, you got to do what you just did. You got to give me your standard.
Yeah.
I have to know what your standard is. Your standard is you got to have postseason success at some degree.
You don't have to win a championship. Listen,
right.
Nobody has for the Knicks since Clyde Frazier. I mean, come on.
Right. Otherwise, we put nobody on the list.
Yeah.
But your point is, you can't be part of down teams, non-winning teams.
Listen, you can be a part of some losing teams, but there's got to be some part of winning involved.
Yeah, like Melo went to the playoffs multiple times, won a series,
and had a 54-win season.
Yeah, Melo's
multiple All-Star, the whole deal.
Do you think his number should be retired?
Yes, but I have a caveat to that.
Oh,
Bernard King's number needs to be retired first.
Okay, so I brought this up.
Nick, my producer Nick is yelling in my ear now because he's like, I've been saying this.
Now listen,
I brought this up because I said Bernard King. It's like I said Melo should be retired. His number should be retired.
We're in agreement.
And then I said, so what do you do with Bernard King? Because I feel like that's kind of like where the bar is.
Does Bernard King have enough years of service?
Yes. With the Knicks, absolutely. And dude, listen, you want to talk about who's a better Knick? And I love Carmelo. I'm a Syracuse guy. I love Bernard King was a better Knick than Carmelo.
Okay.
Dude, there's no denying it.
So
look at what he did.
You can fight this out. I don't have a strong opinion on this one.
On this either.
I think he played 4 years.
So a couple
weeks. Bro, his 4 years.
That's the thing.
He's doing first of all, he beat Detroit by himself in a playoff series. Second of all, he played one of the greatest Celtic teams of all, one of the greatest NBA teams of all time.
Went head to head with them.
And gave him a problem.
He averaged 33, 32 1 year.
Yeah. Mitch has been great on offense.
Or whatever it was. In that era, too, where it's harder to score than now.
But correct. That's why you can't compare the offensive numbers.
Like, no, you can't do that. You know,
it's like comparing Dan Marino to quarterbacks throwing 4,000 yards now. It's
32, 32 there is equivalent to, I don't know, close to 40 now. Or something along those lines. It's ridiculous. Look at the spacing of that era. Guys were not shooting threes, and it was officiated way differently.
So you want Bernard King's number retired?
Do it together. I don't want them to do it together. They're similar players, but I'm pro Carmelo getting his number retired.
Bernard King, I feel like that's like the line.
If somebody tells me they don't want Carmelo's number retired, I'm kind of like,
I get it.
And if somebody tells me they do, I'm like, I don't have a strong opinion either way.
They will retire it.
I think so too. Who was the Knick? Because we looked at this, at all the retired numbers. Who was the Knick that had like the worst resume of all the retired guys?
Oh, it's not.
I'm trying to remember because most of them won a title.
It's got to be a part of the '70s team.
It's one of the '50s guys
or '50s guys. That's what it was. So it was a very early Knick.
Because if you think about it, they went literally from
Dick
Patrick. It was a long gap between Patrick and whoever was the last retired number.
Yeah.
Nobody else from the 90s teams has a number.
70s.
And I don't think they deserve to. And I love John Starks. He's been in studio with me. He's been on shows. My favorite Nick as a kid growing up. But none of those guys, they didn't win.
Wow.
But this is where I give the Knicks credit because they have a standard. They have a standard for retired numbers. Oh, there's a 3.
Nice.
One.
We need one more.
One more.
We need one more.
Tremendous.
This has been a fun first quarter. We had good conversation. The Knicks are out to 11.
He got in the corner.
Can we get 3 more of these?
Yeah, I'll take 3 more of these. We got a hot take from JJ.
That's a tough cut.
I don't call it a hot take. The Bernard King.
I actually think it's a very nuanced and fair.
So can I give you the Knick retired number? And I think we looked this up. My producer just told me. Dick McGuire. Okay,
that was the one.
It's the one.
In that era, though, we have to keep in mind, in that era, they probably were.
There's got to be a. Now, I always have a hard time with the guys I didn't see play.
Because Monroe got a same number.
Yeah.
But 8 seasons as a Knick, averaged 8 points, 5.6 assists in 530 games. Also was 5-time All-Star and was head coach of the team 2 stints. So,
well, listen, the 5-time All-Star definitely holds merit and weight.
Yeah.
Like the statistics in this era of basketball compared to that.
but
it's
5-time All-Star for that era is like you were one of the best players of your era at the time. No,
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
I don't think
5-time
so.
All-Star, he might be.
All right, up 10.5 first quarter. I'll take it. I'll take it.
10.
I like the Knicks standard for retired numbers.
I agree. Because I think other organizations would have retired John Starks. They would have retired Allen Houston. They would have retired maybe even Spreewell. Like they would have retired some of these other numbers. Nick Collison got retired by
Nick McGuire is in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, see.
In the Hall of Fame. That makes sense.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
So his number retiring makes
Don't
sense.
ever get started Nick Collison's number getting retired by OKC. Ridiculous.
And Melo's getting into the Hall of Fame. I think they're going to retire it.
How about this?
What we
Yankees.
got?
Sorry, I'm giving you non-Nick.
No, we talk everything here. If something
that's
random,
fine.
Yeah,
I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, we brought up
They are
Mets
taking
last night.
Williams out of the closer role.
Yes.
And you know what, dude? Bro, do you blame him?
Yeah.
Are you for this?
Yeah, dude. First of all,
Yankee fans want to get rid of him.
Well, he's only here for 1 year anyway.
Yeah.
They're not going to pay him.
Yeah.
First of all, I would never pay relief pitchers. I look at relief pitchers the way I look at running backs.
Really?
I would never look at the Yankees.
Wait, so do you think the Mets, they shouldn't have paid Edwin Diaz?
Different.
Okay.
Why?
Because he was coming off the best. He was so important to success of that team.
Right.
I understood why they paid him.
I think.
Are you fine with the contract now? That's the question.
I can live with it.
I'm fine.
Also, I'm fine with any contract at the Mets because the owner is worth $1 zillion
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter.
Right.
That makes
I
a huge
think
difference.
I think you pay elite closers like you pay like elite running backs. Like you could pay the elite ones, like the really.
And
really
you do it
elite
in short
ones.
terms.
Yeah,
Short-term
yeah.
contracts.
3 years.
They also got
Something
bent
like
over
that.
backwards from a standpoint of Diaz literally had one of the greatest seasons of relievers
What
ever had.
were they going to do?
They had to do it.
And he's been great. He's been really
So
good.
Devin Williams, are you done with him? As a Yankee fan, are you done with
I
him?
wouldn't say I'm done with him. He has to earn credibility. First of all,
Yeah.
this nonsense that people shouldn't be booing him. What do you want the fans to do?
I'm
The
not-
guy
I'm not.
literally has not had one good outing. Dexter, not one good outing. Not 1, 2, 3 inning. Not like an easy peasy save. It's a 1-run game. The Yankees come back, take the lead. He comes in, base hit, walk, base hit. Yeah, it's supposed to give him a standing ovation. What are you kidding me? I saw I don't want to dime somebody else. Somebody I saw on my timeline saying, oh, the Met fans, they're cheering Soto. Hold on a second. They're winning a ton of games.
Yeah.
And Juan Soto is going to hit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're not worried
Exactly.
about. Well, see, okay, you said you have confidence in Juan Soto going to hit. I agree with you. Do you think? This is not about the booing, but do you think the demotion could affect the confidence
No.
of Devin Williams?
No, I don't.
If you want him
Because
to
me,
get back into that
the confidence couldn't be any lower right now to begin with.
Yeah.
How can the confidence get any lower? To me, putting him in maybe in a different
a
situation.
less stressful situation.
Hey, get him in the 7th to the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Build him back up. Go from there. The other counterpoint to that. This guy pitched in the 8th inning for a long time with Milwaukee.
He did.
Remember, he was in the same bullpen with Hader.
Hader, right?
Wasn't he an all-star?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a setup guy.
Yeah.
Setup guy.
So, hey, maybe you put him in the 8th inning. He finds it. He's going to end up pitching in high leverage situations anyway. Maybe that gets him going. Maybe you swap him back. Maybe you don't. Who knows?
Or maybe you just get rid of him in July and
Well,
wipe
also,
your hands with it.
it's a 1-year commitment for them.
Right.
There is no way they're going to give him big money at the end of the year. So be it. Dig up Nestor Cortez for him. So be it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I have no problem with them taking him out of closest
I
role.
have another question. This is funny. What happens if I'm not wishing this? Just want to be very clear to the viewers. I'm not wishing this. But let's say Tuesday night, Luke Weaver gets hurt. What are you doing? You putting him right back in the spot?
Knock on something.
That's a great question.
Yeah, because where's his confidence? And is he ready to go back that quickly?
That something like that has happened before. I want to say it was with Chapman. Remember the Yankees used
when
to
they
take Chapman,
demoted Chapman,
and then they had to put him right back in the role.
Ago.
Yeah.
Who was in that role? I don't remember.
I forget who it was.
Yeah, me too.
Some guy.
Yankees. It was not Coy Holmes yet.
Oh man, we got shout out to my guy Greg. He's in the chat. He said
Greg.
Brunson's approach to start this game has been great. And
6 assists.
He's laughing at what you said about Devin Williams. Base hit, walk, base hit.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're not wrong on that.
Jalen Brunson,
See,
six assists in the first quarter.
So love to see that.
No turnovers.
You mentioned the bench here, though. This is a key little stretch here.
Oh,
No
yeah.
Brunson in the game.
Oh, yeah.
I like that they're not messing around and putting. They should have Towns or Brunson
Every time.
on the floor at all times.
And
One
two-
of them
two bigs
should
here.
be on the floor no matter what.
I agree. And two big lineups.
It's like with the Warriors with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. It's the same deal. That's a foul.
Jesus.
Again, Tobias Harris cannot guard Cat.
No.
Yeah.
And Cat's playing like that. You gotta give. I give the Knicks a lot of credit for how they've attacked this game, and even this lineup here with the two bigs. I like it a lot. I really like it a lot.
I forgot who I heard say this, but it's funny because like we call it a two big lineup now, but really it's just a power forward and a center from like a few years ago.
Yep.
You call it the
I forgot who said
that. What do you want to call it?
It may have been
2005 on it.
It might have been Rosillo that said it, actually, that I heard say it. Somebody said it, and I thought it was great because it's true. It's like this would be a lineup from years ago.
Yeah, and nobody would say
no one would bat an eye.
The Knicks, I mean, we're talking about the 90s Knicks. They used to run Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason.
Was a small forward. Anthony Mason.
At 6'7",
rest in peace, was a small
banging
forward.
in the paint.
Oh, man.
Different world.
Oh,
And Indiana would roll out
Dale
Rick
Davis.
Smits, Dale Davis,
Antonio Davis.
well, they bring him off the bench. And then
Who-
they would have, who was the big,
Who's at three?
they could go, well, they brought in Chris Mullen, but they had Derek
McKee.
McKee.
I saw number
Derek
9. That was
McKee.
Derek McKee. Derek McKee was the guy.
There were like we saw 6'10" small forwards, like Peja Stojakovic and Rashard Lewis, who would be small ball fives today in some lineups.
Oh, 100%.
Which is crazy to think about.
You know what got me thinking with JJ bringing up Devin Williams?
Good help by Cameron Payne.
It sounds like a guy you want to drive to the airport.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm down on him. The thing is, like, it's still early with him. And, like, relievers can find it very quickly. That's a good look.
Oh.
I don't even mind. I know it's early in the shot clock. That was a wide open
You
look.
had to take it. He was a little short there. Damn, I'm kind of mad I didn't take that deuce over 3.5.
defense is playing
One
well.
more
It's
shot is
so
all
much
he
better
needs.
with Mitch in the game. It's crazy.
Defense is playing well. Look at Campaign.
Lost
Lost him at the
late.
end,
Yeah, he
but
lost.
And Mitch got picked off by Duran.
that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what
That
got
because
him.
that was going to be the help, and Duran did a good job
Yeah.
of just
That's a good play
negating
by
that
Duran.
from happening. Let's see.
See, this is what I don't like.
We gotta
I
get
don't want Towns
on the
living
perimeter.
on the perimeter. Go to the basket.
See, and Duran
I
didn't
thought
feel
Mitch
the
got pushed in the
Duran
back.
didn't feel the need to help there because Towns was just isolating himself for so long.
Yeah, they've got to get back to getting it to him in the post.
Ugh, his shot is still flat, huh?
Still flat.
Oh my goodness.
Good grab the ball.
Oh my God.
Come on.
He was in confidence.
Low key
Good
could have been a travel.
He made up for it, though. That's a nice play.
Yeah, good job there by Payne. Payne's
Beas-
giving some good minutes
If
defensively.
Beasley can't
I
hit
couldn't believe
shots-
they didn't go back to him
They
in
got to
game 2.
get the ball back to Towns down low though.
Yeah, I don't want him standing
Oh, but
out
this
there.
is a good. Yeah, Schroeder is on Bridges. You got to attack this.
It's a help.
That's help. That's good.
One
help.
more.
Pass.
Okay.
Oh,
Tough catch and that's a
I
tough
might
catch.
want to get McBride out of the game.
You're done. You're done with that.
No. I just think you got to realize, all right,
Yeah, you've had your shift.
yeah,
Go
time
sit down.
That's enough. Because they brought him in early in the first quarter.
See,
So
they really want to get Beasley going. He just can't hit shots. I took his over because he's going
and
to
those
shoot
are
a million
shots,
shots.
and he got off to a good start, and he was good in game 1.
He's
He was
really
good.
6 threes and 12 attempts.
All the way, Deuce. I like that.
All right, dude.
He got
No
blocked.
foul?
I
Yeah,
think
that's a
it.
clean
I,
block.
no, I
Oh,
think
Oh,
it
they
got
called the
called.
foul. All right,
Yeah.
good. This is what happens. We don't have the sound on. I'm making sure.
We could put it up a little bit.
No,
if we wanted
that's
to.
fine. This Bickerstaff complains too much, man.
Complains too much. I
I
want to
think
see this
every
again.
coach does now at this point. Oh,
That's a foul. He
Yeah.
whacked him. He hit him
You
in the
gotta
head.
cross. Yeah, you're not gonna.
That's a foul.
Anytime you come across
think-
the body like that,
yeah. I think his protest.
Yeah,
Can't
you
do that.
can't. There's
Can't
no-
do that.
His protest was probably that. Oh, I got the ball first, but it just looks bad when you're going across the
The
body
arm
like
goes
that.
across
They're
the
calling
face.
that
Yeah,
every
they call
time.
that
Yeah,
every
because
time.
it's
Yeah.
gonna look like which he did. It's gonna look like you're hitting him in the face, which
Why
you,
they're 0
you did.
10 from 3 today? Detroit is.
That's why they need Beasley.
Wow.
Beasley's out now. Yeah, I mean, look, if today especially, if you don't hit threes, you're not gonna win. You're just
JJ,
not.
got a question for you.
Let's hear.
Have you had Detroit style pizza?
So I have maybe this is a question more than a comment.
What is it?
Give me I've never had it. What is the description of Detroit
Yeah.
style
So
pizza?
I have the same
it's
question.
Square style, almost like a Sicilian, but the way they do their crust, it's like a buttered crust underneath.
Buttered.
So
is
is it similar? I don't know if you know this pizza place. When you say that L&B Spumoni
Yeah,
Gardens,
that's Spumoni Gardens. Well,
I love Spumoni Gardens.
But
They
they-
opened one now in the neighborhood I live in Brooklyn.
Where's the one at?
It's all the way down
I know
by
the OG
Brooklyn
one.
Bridge Park. Well, the OG one, 86th
Yeah,
Street.
yeah.
That's Hurst.
Yeah.
This one is literally right down by Dumbo, Brooklyn Bridge Park, like over by where that carousel is, and over there.
Miss going to school.
You know what's funny?
Good neighborhood.
You know what's
Very
funny?
fun.
My wife was around there a couple weeks ago, and she had told me she saw it down there. Didn't know. She had mentioned that to me. So I knew
They had a sign on the BQE that was advertising they were opening for about 4 years.
Right when you go under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Finally opened in
I
January.
saw that, and I wonder what the sign
getting
was.
chippy here.
Oh, Ron.
Well, Cage shoved his own guy.
It's always Ron Holland. It's always Ron Holland.
Cage just shoved his own guy, saying, "Get the hell out of there."
Ron Holland's a hothead too. I think he's one of those guys Knicks fans are gonna like badger or whatever. But if he's a Knick in like 5 years, they'll love him.
Of course.
Well, I'm trying to pull up some
freakish.
See, the key for the Knicks is just stay out of this nonsense.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you're the more talented team, like the other team is gonna try to do this to you.
So to answer your question,
let's see.
No, LMB.
They just got tangled up.
No.
Okay, so I've never had. Yeah, that was Cade who shoved him.
Yeah,
I said, come on, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He just doesn't want him to get a tech or whatever, especially now.
Well, because he's taunting at him. That's why he's talking shit.
Yeah.
So
this
I've never
I can show you. So it's kind of like a Sicilian slice, but it's like a little thicker, and they butter the crust.
Okay.
It's good.
I would try it.
There are some spots in Brooklyn to get some. There's a spot on Flatbush called Jets that does Detroit style pizza.
Free advertising.
Yeah, whatever.
That's fine.
There's another spot, I'm forgetting, it's in Williamsburg, that I've stopped at.
So we're getting a review. By
I'm not saying I wouldn't mind it. Here, I guess
it's not New York style pizza. Just be clear.
Well, no, but and that's I think part of the issue. Like if you're in the mood for pizza, I feel like I'm just gonna do the pizza.
Yeah.
I like how you said that. The pizza,
That's
the real pizza,
Yeah.
not this other stuff. The real.
I don't think I've ever tried. I've tried Connecticut style, which
New
is
Haven. New Haven's really
New
good.
Haven.
I
Yeah.
heard New Haven is
really
It's good. It's just basically like burnt.
Don't ever
not
talk
burnt,
to our
but
friend Chelsea
charred,
Sherrod about
charred.
this.
It's
I
they think it's better than
I
here.
love
No,
Chelsea.
no.
I love Chelsea,
no.
but Chelsea will argue with me that it's better than here. I love you, Chelsea, but
no. But listen, after New York, I mean,
I would agree. The second best pizza I've ever had after New York.
when one of the St. Francis trips, because I used to have to travel with the women's basketball team as part of my job. Me and shout out to Jeff Armstrong, who we know very well. We got pizza when we were in Connecticut, and it was New Haven style, and it was really, really good at one of these places that we stayed at.
Yeah, I mean some of these places are like world renowned, like the Frank Pepe's.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Modern is my favorite.
I've never had. I dropped the ball on it because I was at an event last year in Connecticut, Travelers golf tournament.
Okay,
I was
yeah.
at the Mohegan Sun, and I said I'm going to stop on the way home.
Uh.
I had a what was it, like a christening to get to, and I was in the absolute worst. By the way, I don't go to Connecticut often. I know we have a lot of friends, probably people watching Connecticut. If you want hell on earth, the drive on I-95 or 87, whatever it is, from the middle of Connecticut to down New York City on a Sunday afternoon. That is hell on earth.
So I've done it multiple times.
It's one of the worst drives you'll ever make.
Wait, so how long did it
Cape
take, and how long was it supposed to take from destination?
So
to
if you go from New Haven to here, and there's no traffic, because I've done this before.
hour and a half?
Well, I'll say Midtown Manhattan, where we are.
Okay.
Yeah, hour and 20 minutes.
Hour 20, hour 30.
Not that
But then
hard.
you could get 3 hours.
Yes, and that's
I
happening.
think I was about 3 hours.
That's happening.
See, 3 hours is supposed to get you from here to like the other side.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I get both. I can get
Syracuse.
Yeah.
Like even here to New Britain, Connecticut is like 2 and change. Not quite 3 hours.
JJ's right, and what JJ is saying is you're going to be stuck in a parking lot.
I can't do dude. I
You're going to
plan
be
my
stuck
life.
in a parking lot.
I plan my
Trust
life when I am driving.
Yeah.
Around traffic.
Yeah.
Good
I
man.
will not drive when traffic is bad.
I'm the same.
If my
can't
wife
do it.
lives in Queens, my parents live in Staten Island, I will not go when it's bad.
Yeah.
I look. I wait.
Well, see, here's if you're now you live in Brooklyn and your family's out in Staten Island, and you know if you catch one of the wrong days, you get screwed on.
But I know. But that's the thing, though. If you know when to go,
you get
there
hit
in
it.
20 minutes.
Yep.
You got to know when to go.
Yep.
You try to go 5 o'clock on a weekday, you're gonna get hammered.
You're gonna get hammered.
Wait the extra 2 hours. You're gonna enjoy your commute a lot better.
You're like me.
It's worth the extra 2 hours to save your sanity.
Sanity's important.
Cade only with 4 points here, by the way.
He just had a tough 2 on OG Anunoby.
You don't want him getting going.
Let's see.
Pull that.
Oh,
There you
over.
go.
Oh.
Staying here.
I like that he took that shot. If they're going to play that far off of him, you got to take the shot. Got to take the shot.
I will slightly disagree just because he came up so high that I feel like he could.
You feel like he didn't take it in rhythm?
No, I feel like he could have drove. I feel like the pump fake dribble drive was there.
I didn't love that shot.
I didn't think, that one.
I'm with
Go
you
to the
guys.
basket. Thank you.
You know what sucks now is because he took that shot.
See, they listen, good things happen. You know,
he took the first three, then he rushed the second one. Now he's not going to take another three to the fourth quarter.
I know.
So we're going to be just waiting it out for the 1.5 threes to cash for Karl Anthony Towns for the whole time. We have Jay Sanchez has a comment, Dex.
Yeah, I see it now.
Watching the NBA broadcast, and Stephen A. has asked if there will be orange and blue skies, and he picked the Pistons. Big Perk picked the Knicks to win. Who's a New York fan? I don't think if you're a New York fan or a Knicks fan, you have to pick the Knicks to win every game. I think.
Listen, I didn't think that I'm a Knicks fan. I didn't think they were going to win tonight.
Yeah,
I hope I'm wrong. I said it right out of Jump Street.
Yeah, I think a lot of Knicks
really
fans
nice
low key are nervous about today because they got their game on the road, and it's just tough to win 2 road games in the NBA against.
No, let me tell you something. I'd be really impressed with the Knicks. They come back, they're up 3-1. That would show me something.
Yeah, because Detroit's played well for the first 3 games, and the games have been very tight.
And Knicks aren't exactly lighting it up from the field either.
They're not.
They're 12 and 33.
This is the worst Detroit's looked since I don't know the fourth quarter in Game 1.
Yeah,
I think the
word used was rattled.
Yeah,
to start, they look rattled. Hey,
now you get Brunson back in the game with a 12-point lead. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's bad for
the
Detroit.
Knicks won the bench minutes, which you talked about, Brian.
Yeah,
they won the bench minutes. That's huge.
Deuce was fine.
Payne was fine. Good defense.
Mitchell Robinson also. He had enough activity.
But they ran their offense to the starters, which is fine by me.
And the defense has been great. Detroit's not getting any easy looks, and they're not cashing in on the rare occasions they do. See, I think if you're the Knicks, you're fine with that.
Like the missing shots later. I keep saying
it happened last time.
You know what's going to happen with Tim Hardaway Jr. He's going to hit some shots early, and then
he's another guy.
He starts feeling himself.
Don't like him because when he played on the Knicks, team stunk.
Yeah.
You're not putting him in Knicks top 10 of all time?
Nah, I don't think so.
He was their leading scorer. I want that top 10, by the way, actually.
I'll show it to you next commercial.
I want to see it.
I don't even care. Honestly,
he got the put back.
I don't even care. That's the sort of take you see from him. I like it.
Could have been
right to the rack.
Yeah.
Live with it.
Yeah. Could have been a foul too. Oh,
he can shoot that all day.
Their offensive process is so bad.
All day.
So bad. Why are they taking those early shots?
They're also playing to the Knicks' hands with that.
He wants to shoot that 5 into the shot clock. Be my guest.
You know who I'm surprised hasn't shown up at one of these games for Detroit? Where's Eminem? Where's he been?
I wonder if he's only a Lion guy.
Maybe he doesn't mess with the
Pistons. Is he touring or something?
I don't know.
Oh, you want to talk about one of my all-time least favorite athletes, Tim Hardaway Sr. Anybody on those Miami teams. I couldn't stand Alonzo Mourning. Dude, let me tell you.
Mashburn.
I left the Syracuse-Georgetown game. Now, I was a student in D.C.,
doing student things.
Definitely not in the sober state.
Understood. You were doing student. That's what I said. You were doing student things. Right.
And I'm leaving the Georgetown arena. Alonzo Mourning walked by me, and I screamed out, "Alonzo, Patrick's better. Go Cuse!"
And what did he say?
He just gave me a dirty look. That was fine. I'm not going to get in a fight with Alonzo. First of all, I'm not getting in a fight with anybody.
You know how I'm going to fight Alonzo.
Number 2. I ain't gonna end well fighting Alonzo Mourning. I get broken in half in 5 seconds.
Even now.
But you know what though? I enjoyed that heckling. It was well worth it.
That was a good.
And it was in good fun. I didn't say anything that was out of bounds.
Yeah.
Guess what? By the way, Patrick was better. So
that's
speaking of truth.
It wasn't like you wasn't saying that something that wasn't a fact.
That's true. Because the ring Alonzo did get later on, he was a backup. He did play well in that series.
I hated those Heat teams.
Well, I was talking about the Dwayne Wade Shaq. That one.
Yeah. Well, our hate comes from.
No, I'm talking in
You're
90s.
talking 90s. Yeah, the hate comes from the 90s when they played every year.
Hardaway,
Mashburn,
Anthony Carter,
Carter,
Dan Marley.
They had Glenn Rice still, or no?
No, he was gone. Later. He was at Charlotte. He was on Charlotte.
Yeah.
Knicks ended up getting Glenn Rice. He was in that terrible Patrick Ewing trade.
Yes, that's right.
Now listen, Patrick was done at the end.
They should have just let him play it out that season.
Bingo. They set themselves back because they took on about 3 or 4 bad contracts, thinking, "Hey, we
Luke
can."
Longley, Glenn Rice.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Luke Longley, Glenn Rice,
Vin Baker.
Vin Baker.
Yes,
in
and
that
then
deal.
they ended up. What was the Odella Harrington? Who was the other guy they got? Howard Isley.
Yeah, Shannon Anderson. And then they did a
What trade was that for?
I don't remember. Didn't they do a Camby Antonio McDyess?
On draft night.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to talk about that.
I remember.
I was a big Camby fan.
I told you
I always like Camby.
I ranted about this because I told you in NBA Live 2004, their highest overall player was Antonio
we talked about
McDyess.
this recently.
And I'm like,
I
how?
forgot about that.
He was never. That was the year they traded for Marbury, but rosters didn't update back then, kids. Like,
Who you wanted my all-time Nicholas?
Yes.
Yes.
Now
he won.
remember,
Let's go.
this is my
10,
lifetime.
10-1. You
10 to
got-
1.
you got
In
the
his
10-1.
lifetime,
Okay.
in JJ's lifetime.
So I didn't see Bernard King. I'm born in '88. I really started watching games '93, '94. Perspective.
Okay.
It's fair.
Okay.
Anthony Mason 10,
So this is the last 30 years essentially.
basically.
Okay.
Anthony Mason 10.
Mason's 10. Okay.
Amari Stoudemire 9.
That's interesting, but I get it.
I'll continue. Julius Randle 8. And mind you, Julius Randle's not one of my favorite Knicks.
I just
It's funny because I think he probably should be a little higher, but I remember who else you have.
Wait, are you okay with Randall over Amari?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he has to be.
He's
Okay.
two-time All-NBA.
Okay. No,
And longevity.
Chat.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think that's fair. I have no problem with that.
This
Deal
is
problem.
where I'm going to ask you,
I think some
which
Knicks fans
one of
would-
these guys should Julius Randle be over?
Okay.
Latrell Sprewell.
Yes.
Ooh.
Not for me. Can't do it.
Ooh.
Can't do it.
Let me ask you a question.
Sprewell was on better
'Cause
teams.
are you saying that and because Sprewell was part of a team that made a run to the finals?
And
An
was he-
iconic run to the
Well,
finals.
it was a huge part of it.
Huge part of it.
Best or second best player on that team?
Was an all-star with
Second
the
best
Knicks.
player on the team.
Randall was a better regular season player. I'm not going to argue that.
But
Latrell
Sprewell,
Sprewell,
the 99
willing you
playoff,
that's
was
through.
fantastic
You know
playoff.
what?
And in 2000 playoffs.
That's
Yeah, he's
fair. That's
fantastic.
fair because Randall he had like one good playoff game with the Knicks, maybe,
If that.
if that.
Okay.
All right.
That's
See,
fair.
what do I ask for? Standard.
So that's
Very
fine.
Standard.
And
Would
Sprewell was a top
You
2 player on the finals team.
put Julius Randle ahead of Charles Oakley. You can't do
No,
it.
I'm not doing that.
Can't do it.
That's
You
interesting.
can't put him ahead of. No, you can't.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
Like, if
No,
you-
I get it.
The
I get it.
significance
He's
of
not
what
ahead of
Oakley
John
meant
Starks,
to.
who I assume is
I get
coming
it.
soon.
You can't put him
Oakley-
ahead of John Starks.
Oakley slightly before me, but I get
You
it.
can't put him ahead of Allen Houston.
No.
Can't do it. And then
So
the big
Houston-
three:
Houston's
Melo,
fifth?
Brunson, Starks is 5th. Houston's
Starks is
4th.
5th. Houston's 4. Okay.
Carmelo 3, Brunson 2,
And Ewing.
Patrick.
I don't have a problem with the list.
I think that's a good list.
That's a good.
I think
You know what?
that's a really good
I
list.
thought Randall should be higher, but then you gave me the players, and I don't have an argument for it.
I think that's a good
See, I
list.
feel like
I don't-
Randall being it's weird because you're gonna have some people that are just bothered that Randall is on it to begin with, and then they
Nah,
don't.
they're not being
And
fair.
like, let's make something. I'm not a Randall guy.
But the
I couldn't. I
numbers,
was so happy he was gone. I love this.
all NBA
Got fouled, no?
jump ball. They're gonna call. I think.
Even when I don't mean to cut you off, bro.
That's fine.
Let's see
Okay.
if there's a scuffle. No.
Even
Never-
when,
don't apologize
even when
for cutting me off.
Cat is
Cut me off
missing,
all day.
even when Cat is missing no shots, I like it.
Me too.
Keep attacking.
It's
I'm
better
with you.
than the alternative of him standing at the
I thought he got
3-point
fouled
line.
there, but okay.
How many shots do we think Towns has taken in this game? I'd say at least 12.
Oh,
I
let
was
me
gonna
look.
say 10 plus.
11 on the money.
And he's not even been
Ooh.
efficient, but he's aggressive.
What is he for 11? Is it
4 for 11.
4?
Not good.
Okay, 36%.
But I'll take that. He's aggressive.
Yeah, 30,
I'm with you on that.
36% is not good, but the
Did you-
attacking is good.
Did you
so
get
that's fine.
heat for this list? What was the reaction? What were the
No, this list actually I
because you
feel
did
like-
it on the show and then you tweeted it out.
Yeah, well, listen, you always get the feedback with the Twitter tough guys. I mean, that's a given. I mean, you know,
It's worse now
You know.
than it's ever been.
you know. That's what you get.
I like the list. I think
Honestly,
it's a good list.
just comment sections now, they just awful.
People
everywhere.
were people though. I feel like there
Except
was
here.
not. Stefan wanted more. My producer Stefan, who's one of the greats, might be watching right now. He
Who
wanted
I also
Marbury on the
know.
list. I said absolutely
Shout out
not.
Stefan.
Shout out to Stefan.
He wanted Marbury on the list?
Yes, I said absolutely not.
Who did he want him on the list?
Wait,
over?
who was 10 again?
And he had David Lee on the list. That's a good question. He can text me if he's watching right now.
And
Let me
here's
know.
people going to think I'm crazy for saying this. You know, I grew up a huge Stephon Marbury fan from Brooklyn. Love the guy. I would actually put David Lee on that list before I put Stephon Marbury.
I agree with that.
You understand what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Who was 10 again? I'm trying
Anthony Mason.
to,
And again, statistically, he's not going to have anything on
Oh,
this
not
guy.
this
Great.
guy.
One more.
Oh,
Yes.
One more. That's a 2,
that's a good possession. And they got the rebound.
and he's short again.
I mean,
I-
Mikhail hit a shot. dude.
Jeez.
See, the first one was fine.
The
The second one.
Let me tell you, He's tough to watch. I'm not a fan.
Wow, he's sold out there.
I expected, not even from an offensive standpoint, I just thought in winning time, he'd be a way better player. And won.
That's on Tim Hardaway. How do you not draw a foul there? Or was
Charge.
that Jalen Duren? How do you not set up to draw
I think.
How do you not set up to draw a charge there?
I will give this to Bridges.
Oh, damn, that's a good block.
He's played good defense in this series.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, he has.
Damn, that was a good block.
We were talking about that. I think it was game 1 where he barely.
You got to give him credit, especially after missing the 2 threes. He came back. That's a good block.
Fingertips.
Game 2 was infuriating.
This is why you do those drills where you dribble off your fingers.
Is he the Nick you'd want to drive to the airport right now? Is he in Devin Williams territory?
No, but he was after game 2. I mean, dude, game 2, I'm like, can he hit a shot? Come on, Josh. Free throws, please.
The Knicks are leaving a lot of meat on the bone. A lot of points on the table.
See, that's the thing I was going to say. It's like Detroit's not playing good at all.
And the Knicks are
dude, they
only
have 20.
up 11.
Think about it.
That makes me nervous.
They have 26.
Right. It's like the Knicks, they kind of, you can put your foot on this game. So
what are the Knicks shooting? What are the Knicks shooting?
Knicks are shooting guys from the field 34%.
That's disgusting.
Detroit is shooting 31%. Detroit is turning the
And
ball.
Hart misses both free throws.
See,
can't have it.
The Knicks, I gave him credit early. Now
that's an offensive foul.
Yeah. Now I'm getting the feeling like Detroit goes on a run, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, here we go.
The Knicks are playing with their foot.
Well, if you know anything about, I feel like these games have all been kind of tight.
Yes.
So you almost have to expect that it's going to get tight.
I'm expecting a Detroit run before halftime.
Yeah, he shoved them. That was a little acting from Brunson, but
a lot of people are getting tired of it. A lot of people.
Oh, the foul. I love him. The foul merchant. That's what my buddy in Indiana calls him.
Called the foul merchant?
Calls Brunson the foul merchant.
A lot of other fan bases are
the Philly fan, the Pacer fan. If you play the Knicks in a playoff series, it's
the Pistons now, Celtics, obviously. He does go a little overboard with it. See, that could have been a push off.
Woo! They needed that 3.
That could have been a push off a little bit there, but they didn't call it.
The Knicks, you know what?
They'll close this quarter double digits at least.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
I think that's
you're up double digits going to halftime. I'm okay.
I agree. Don't let them get into single digits. Yeah. I'm with you, JJ.
They did a great job.
This is good defense in the paint.
If you noticed in game 3, in the first, in the second, and the third quarter, they closed the quarters tremendously.
Yeah.
They did.
Little 5-0 run, 7. That matters, man.
Yeah.
That's always a big thing for me. How do you close those quarters?
Yeah. And that's the thing that they're going to have that edge in this series because they have Brunson. They have Towns. They have just more guys who can close, who you trust offensively down the stretch. Yeah, more so Brunson, not Towns as much.
I think this stretch is important for both teams, right? Because if the Pistons get back into it and they're feeling good, if they get it to single digits, that's a win for them. But if the Knicks keep this 13, 14 plus going into halftime, they're feeling good.
Listen, Knicks going to halftime up 10. They're going to be saying to themselves, dude,
we can
let's put this baby on ice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You want a little rest after Tuesday?
Oh, that's what I'm hoping for. A little rest will be nice. They just can't. They're playing with their food though, because this feels like a game the Knicks should be up 18. 20.
But they're not hitting shots though.
They're not.
That's wide open.
Ugh.
I mean, that's Nick Ball now.
Yeah, it looks like Nick Ball.
What's Bridges shooting?
I knew you were going to say that. He is 1 of 6, 0-4 from downtown.
I mean, who's shooting well for the Knicks?
They were 4 or 5.
Brunson's got to be the only guy that's probably shooting well.
So they were
3 of 5.
They're 2 of their last 12 or 2 of their last 14 from 3. The Knicks.
That's a goaltend, no?
It's a goaltend.
No, they didn't call it. Oh, they did.
They did.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty clear goaltend if you ask me.
Yeah, that's
that
going
ball's
down.
on the way down.
So the Knicks have made 2 of their last 14 threes after that hot start.
So to be fair, and they still have 10.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that's why, to
that's
me,
a good take.
You don't have to just keep chucking them up.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially when you're playing with the lead.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Get out and run.
That was made by OG. OG made that play. Got to finish here.
Oh!
Come on, Mikal. You got to go up stronger than
that.
that.
I thought he was going to make a business decision.
Got him. Ooh.
I don't know. He's been cold.
It looked like he tipped
last 6 quarters, he's been cold.
Yeah. He really is. You're right. Since that first half of game 2, he hasn't really been hot.
Look how they're defending the paint.
OG's ready to come over. There it is. I love it.
Good
Get
help.
that out of there.
Good
Yeah,
help.
beautiful.
They gave him the baseline.
That's tremendous defense.
Mm-hmm.
Dunk it. And one.
Oh,
He's going to the line.
You see the difference.
That's a good foul, though.
But also the difference in how Hart went with purpose.
Then how Bridges went
Then
up.
Bridges went up.
That's a great point.
Bridges loves to pull up, take a little 10-footer.
Listen, he's a soft offensive player. I mean, that's just all there is to it.
There it is.
He doesn't play
He
with
is.
edge. He doesn't play offense with
I
edge.
think he plays defense with edge.
I agree.
Yes.
And
he drives with edge.
so you said this at the beginning of,
I mean,
this. At the start of the season, asked Brian, I was not happy with his defense. He was not fighting over screens.
Yeah.
It was annoying the hell out of me. He's been better.
Yeah.
But you want to see a little bit more oomph on the offensive end.
We talked about the free
Now,
throw rate.
can he have that? I don't know.
He never gets to the free throw line. It's not as bad as it was early on, but his free throw rate has been a career low basically all season long. And
It's crazy.
he just doesn't attack with force like the way Josh Hart does. And at least Jalen Brunson's crafty. You know what I mean? He's not going to try to meet somebody at the rim, but he's crafty. He can get calls. Towns has his moments. Josh Hart made both.
There you go. You needed that. Hart's played a really good game.
He's had a couple of threes, too, which is great.
Only 2 assists for me today, but he's been
Those will
solid.
come.
Those will come. Yeah.
Look at how
I
crowded.
love how they're playing Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
Good job to show there by Brunson and the recovery by Bridges.
three.
That was fantastic recovery by Bridges there.
It's a great pass.
There
Can he
you
hit a
go.
shot?
Bridges has got to hit a shot.
I'm okay with that look.
And it's a good look.
Yeah.
You got to hit the shot.
God, he hasn't hit it. Bridges' defense has been really good in this game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, OG could guard him better. I think it's just.
But
the
what
quickness.
they're doing is they're throwing multiple bodies at him. It's like your turn, my turn.
They're packing the paint.
So
Which I
that way
like.
they're like kind of taking a little bit of the onus off like one individual defender, you know.
Mhm.
I like it. And Bridges has
helping at the
been
right
good
time.
on him.
They're helping at the right time defensively
He's done
too.
a great job on it.
Beasley can't hit a shot.
Whew.
Beasley and Bridges should go have a shooting competition.
All
A
right.
horse brick competition.
So Towns is 1 of 3 from 3. I don't think I've hit anything.
Bridges
yet,
0-4.
obviously.
Greg-
Shooter has 2 shots in 12 minutes.
We'll take it. Greg says Mikal go to the basket. Hey, Greg, we saw when Mikal went to the basket. He's got to go stronger than that. Knicks are looking for the knockout punch. That's what we're saying. Can they get the knockout punch and deliver it? It might not come here. It's got to come in the third quarter, which third quarters have not been so kind for the Knicks this year. That's the only thing. Third quarters have not been super kind
A lot of third
for these
quarters.
guys. A lot of third quarters, as you said.
Yeah.
We'll see. So far, look, I think if you're a Knicks fan,
Dude, who wouldn't sign for this start?
you would have signed for the start.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, you can't.
You're up
you can't
14.
be mad
You're
at
up
it.
14 points a couple of minutes ago before halftime.
Pistons are 1 of 14 from 3. That's 7%.
I feel like this week on your show, JJ, you gotta have a lot to talk about with New York sports. You know, from the Knicks, they could be up 3-1. You could have the Yankees, Devin Williams situation. The Mets. Are you believing in the Mets?
What's not to like, dude?
Alvarez is back. Hit a home run already.
The Mets got feel like they got good juju around them right now. I like the vibes around the Mets. The Mets look
It's a
good.
good time to have 3 Met fantasy players on your team.
What'd you think about the draft for the New York teams?
So
Oh, yes. That's right.
I'll start with the Jets.
Yeah.
I wanted them to take Warren. I watched a lot of Penn State. I think he's freaking awesome. I think he's going to be a stud all-pro tight end for years
I think
to
he's
come.
going to be good, and I hate Penn State.
However,
But yes.
However, them ending up with Jason Taylor's kid is a nice little pivot.
Oh, yeah,
I like him.
they got him in the second
Second round.
round. Yes.
Second round.
So, Membu, here's the take on the Jets. I would really like their team if they had a different quarterback.
yeah.
I am not a Justin Fields guy. Listen, he's super athletic. Pittsburgh is a
Steelers,
smart team, right? Smart team.
I wanted him back for the Steelers.
They didn't.
They did, from what I heard, at a price. From people I've talked to,
But you know who your quarterback is going to be.
Uh,
Oh, it's happening. And
I want
I'm
no
not a
parts
fan-
of it,
listen,
JJ. I want no parts of it.
He is significantly better than what you had last year.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
You don't think he's washed?
No, I do think for his standard, he's washed.
I don't know.
You think he's better than Russ?
Oh yeah, Russ stinks. Yes.
Would you rather have
Aaron Rodgers played in the final 6 weeks of the year. Played pretty well.
Would you rather have
He had
him
a
or Kirk
lot of
Cousins?
garbage time stats when they're out the game.
Would you rather have him or Kirk Cousins next year?
Rodgers.
And I had
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
dude. Kirk
No,
Cousins.
I know he's cooked,
Looked
but
awful. He looked worse than both of them last year.
I think it's going to be
I have to
Rodgers
agree.
because he's working out with DK Metcalf apparently.
I just don't
Dude,
want
I
all the
think-
stuff that
I
comes
think-
with Rodgers.
I
don't
get it.
need it.
But if anybody can handle it, it's your coach. Your coach and what happened
that dude.
compared to the mess that was the Jets. I think you have to realize that a lot of the stink around what you saw with
Was
Rodgers.
just jet stink.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
You're like some of that was just jet
Like,
stink.
let me put it this way. Do I think you're winning like a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? No.
No, I don't think so.
Do I think you make the playoffs? Yes.
I think
I think you have a better chance to win a playoff game with Aaron Rodgers than Russell Wilson or Kirk Cousins
Mm.
or Justin Fields.
Mm.
That's just me.
I think that.
So
might,
you think the
that's
Steelers
fair.
made the right decision moving on from Justin Fields? This is what I heard from somebody who covers the team that I
Sure.
know well there in Pittsburgh. The Steelers were willing to give him 20 guaranteed. The Jets gave him the 30.
I mean, if they really
They gave him
wanted
2
him,
for 40, but
facts,
30 guaranteed.
facts. If they really wanted
No,
him,
facts.
they would have
They
given
gave the money, right? They would have given the
guaranteed.
money.
So, they could, yes, they can use that now and justify it. But if they really wanted Justin Fields, he'd be the quarterback. That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting at.
I agree. Who's the Jets backup right now after Fields?
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, Tyron.
Oh, he's still there. Okay.
Okay, so
That's my problem. I actually like the Jet roster.
you
They have a
don't
good
like the
offensive line. I think Justin Fields, I think they're going to be a 5 or 6 win team with Justin Fields.
Oh man, Jets fans don't want to hear that.
I mean,
5 or 6.
that's what their Vegas number is.
Look, I turned in my Jet fan card years ago.
You ought to notice I used to be a Jets fan. I
I used
decided
to
not
be
to do it
also.
anymore
I
'cause it was-
understand.
I
I
just
mean,
got-
my team hasn't done me many favors, but at least they've
But
had,
they ain't the Jets.
at least they've had a few good regular. I mean, they don't have the longest playoff drought in professional
That's
sports.
great
They
defense
have the
by
longest
OG.
playoff win drought in professional
drought.
sports.
But I'd rather say at least I've got good pass.
Let's go.
Excellent pass.
Tremendous.
The Knicks, hey, look, up 16, JJ.
When we
Look,
talk
they're
about
doing what they're
closing
trying
a
to do.
quarter,
Yeah.
That was a
defense
sick-
leading to offense.
We get to halftime. I want to hear what you think about what the Giants did because I like your take with the Jets. Interesting time in New York sports.
Are we breaking- are we-
Oh,
Are we breaking at halftime? Like we've
yes,
been
we're
doing?
gonna break.
Okay.
We're gonna break at halftime. So everybody, stick with us. We'll take a short break during halftime. Be back for the second half.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Can't foul him there, Carl.
Tobias
Yeah, at that
Harris
point, let
with
him
a
go.
finish.
But he does the dumb fouls. Like
You gotta just let him go in that one. You're up
Wha-
16.
I if you're the Knicks, you can't just assume the Pistons are going to shoot 1 of 14 from 3 again. So you have to try to put this away early because I'd be surprised if Detroit
Good
doesn't
pass.
have a run at some point, especially in the
No,
playoffs.
I'm with you on that.
So, but if you bet on the Knicks, I would feel great right now. I would feel great.
Juliana's in here, said she's coming in to scope the game day eats. No food for me here today, Juliana. I already had my wrap from that deli.
Nice.
That's all I had. I had a wrap from the deli. So very little food here. Just got some water, got some tea.
I ate before
That's
I came
it.
here too.
So that's all. That's all. we
Oh
got.
man, it's gonna go from 16 to 10 real quick, isn't it? It's amazing how these games turn on a dime, man.
And it did.
You're in
Yeah.
single digits range now, and Detroit.
Dude, they were literally up 16 just a second ago.
With a layup away from it being 18 that they missed.
See, taking
10 or better. I'm gonna be annoyed if this is under single digits.
I will be too.
This
think
is
that's
taking
fair.
too long to develop. Oh,
Now they have an inbounds play with 4.1 seconds.
let's see. Look at this.
That's fine. Tim Hardaway Jr., once he starts feeling himself, I keep telling you,
I get it.
it's good early. It won't be good late. We've
Get
seen
it.
this
He,
movie
he
before.
almost he damn near won the damn near won them the last game. The way he was shooting, he just fell off a cliff in the second half or fourth quarter.
That's a tough shot.
That was great defense. Oh,
yeah,
look
it's
at Jalen.
Honestly,
killer.
take some time off the clock.
Yeah. Don't even shoot now. I wouldn't.
Good
Oh,
pass. Oh, you gotta
Wow.
be strong with the ball there.
Man,
Yeah.
2 guys on him though. That was a problem.
oh
And
boy.
this is what he feels himself too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
That is the
You can't
And
let
he
that
fouled him,
offensive.
too.
re-
see the Knicks.
Jared Goff in the building.
The Knicks have given them all the momentum here now. It's just under 8. The crowd's into it. They're pumped up. Detroit hasn't done diddly all day. I know last time.
Okay, Ned Flanders.
What are we doing here?
My buddy wanted to. One
Didn't
of my
he?
old producers, the great Mike Fliegelman, texted me. He goes, "I'm watching the watch party, obviously," and he
Yeah.
goes, "JJ is talking Rodgers and the Jets." I go, "Yes,
We talk everything. Here.
everything."
Well,
Yeah.
if you're watching the game, you don't always talk about the game. Talk about other things.
That's
here.
it.
We
Well,
might talk
he's a big Jet fan, and he is very dismayed by the Woody Johnson experience. I get it.
I mean, if you've been a
Is-
Jet fan,
I tell Fleegs knows me. Fleegs, what's up? He is a big Jets fan, and
who's probably been dismayed for 2 decades.
no, I've talked to Fleegs a lot of times.
The Jets have really beaten down poor Fleeks. I
Yes,
don't blame
Fleeks-
them.
They beat me. Look, in 2016, I was out. I was done. I was like, yo,
I was done a couple years.
I was
later.
like, Ryan Fitzpatrick, really? Get the fuck out of here. Like, come on.
After he gave you a great season too. That's the
But
best quarterback season a Jet has had
since
in
Vinny
like
Testaverde in '98.
My contention is,
or Chad Pennington. Take your pick.
and even at the time, I was saying Geno Smith was going to have his breakout season until he got punched. in the
big.
face.
Finish.
That's
What a
big.
finish.
So they got
Listen,
punched
I'm
in the
not
face.
happy though. This being only a 9-point
I'm
game.
not happy either.
Possibly 7 or 6
Yeah.
if the Knicks mess around.
Get
here.
a stop here,
So-
please. We'll be. I'll tell you right now, we'll be sweating in the second half. Just 'cause that's the way these games go, man.
Why is Shamit in the game?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh my God! You cannot let that happen.
All right, hurry up,
That
get a
was
shot.
A
Get,
breakdown at the end there.
That was
go,
on Shamit too.
go. Make a pass.
That's not a foul.
I don't know if there was enough contact.
I think
there.
That's a brutal.
I think it's a
close.
win from Detroit that they.
all
they're down
that, and you're only
16.
up 7 if you're the Knicks.
Yeah, this is a lot. To me, the Knicks can't.
Huh.
The Knicks have to say that they don't feel good about
Now,
this.
the
This
one
has to
thing I
be
would say
energy.
from a Knick perspective, they shot the ball like crap too.
Yeah,
and they're gonna feel like they can.
and
shoot
they
better.
have more room. Well, not more room, but they have room for improvement.
Like you look at it, Knicks shot 35% from the field.
Yep.
That's terrible. But the Pistons.
Detroit actually was better from the field, but the problem for Detroit is they were 2 of
Threes.
16 from beyond the arc.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to know, and that's where let's see the turnovers in this game.
Detroit has 10.
Knicks
Yeah,
have
that's a
five.
huge.
The Knicks
That's
have 5.
But here's the problem for the Knicks. You know what stat I'd like to know? What were the Knicks points off the turnovers? Because the Knicks in the last game didn't do a good job of that, getting points off of turnovers. We even saw a couple of times they got turnovers and couldn't do anything, or second chance points, and they weren't able to score on them. So they gotta do a better
Second
job of
quarter was 24-21 Pistons, by the way. So all that.
I just don't like how the Knicks closed that quarter. I
Yeah.
think that's my problem.
But that's the type of thing that could swing a game if you're not careful. Because now, in the third quarter, the first 2-3 minutes are going to be essential. If Detroit gets on a run,
then it's game on.
yeah,
Knicks can get it back to 10-11. You got a little more breathing room.
yeah. And then if the Knicks, it's 12-2, it's a 12-2 run out the gate, then it's like, oh, Detroit could just fold right here, potentially.
The first
So-
three, I think I'll even go. I'll give them a little more time. I think the first 3 to 4 minutes of the quarter are imperative.
No, it's going to be very
See how
important.
it is.
Especially because, again, Detroit is going to have Schroeder and Beasley on the bench to start. So that's going to be essential to get off to a good start if you're the Knicks.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, people. We are going to step aside real quick so we can just take a break, stretch our legs, use the bathroom, maybe do like Juliana said, have a light lunch. I don't know if that's going to happen. But we're going to step aside. We'll be back for the third and the fourth quarter here on the New York Got Game Knicks live watch party for Game 4, Knicks Pistons. Stay tuned. All right, we're back. Knicks watch party. Dexter Henry, John Jastremski, Bryan Fonseca. Knicks with a 7-point lead to start this third quarter. I feel like the energy's come down for us here. We thought this was going to be.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I'll tell you what's interesting.
Not for us.
Brian and I both like.
Bryson has 3 fouls, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's watch that.
That's something to watch. We were not confident in the Knicks going into this game, and then the game started, and they were up by as many as 16. It looked like they were going to pull away. That close to the quarter there was problematic, and now it's a 5-point game.
Right now, it's the closest it's been since early in the first quarter.
Got to get back to what's been going for you. He's too long to get into these sets, and Towns just dribbling out here. See, that's a win for Detroit.
Again, with
fadeaway over
Dex, I keep saying this. You can't start off quarters with isolation offense.
I agree.
And now that's a good look. That's off because he can't shoot, but
very lucky.
It's a good save by Hart because
very looked like when he saved it.
How's this gonna end? Oh wow. Clean strip.
As ugly as that possession was from Towns, though,
he did the right thing.
I'm gonna accept him trying to attack than him being passive. I can't handle him being passive.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was stress to him after game 2.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Bridges.
Blocked at the rim.
Good steal.
Wow. No foul. Oh, is Anunoby hurt?
No, he looks like he's getting up. Brunson wants that call, I'm sure.
These bad possessions here.
Refs are letting him play. So I'm okay with that if there's consistency on both sides.
Another good strip.
There's like 6 plays where I'm like, regular season, that's a foul, that's a foul, that's a foul. Refs just letting it go.
Good. Let him play. Just be consistent.
I agree. That's probably a charge.
That's not wow.
Was he in a circle? No.
No, he was setting up for it. You saw it as soon as Cat rounded the corner, Cade was like getting ready.
I thought Cat had avoided enough for the
See, look, right here.
Nah, you're
you're right. 100% a charge.
I
thought he might have been in a circle.
He saw it coming. He telegraphed the charge.
Fine.
Like
Cardiac Knicks here says
you got a Euro there.
2 run before halftime is all on Tibbs. I'm like, guys, Tibbs is out there playing.
See, here's my pushback on that. The game was a 16-point game. They hit 2 shots.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
They had an N1. They hit a 3.
That's not on Tibbs, man.
That's on you guys. You guys got to execute.
I think fans sometimes talk about things like players don't have agency. They're the ones out there. They have to execute. There's nothing Tibbs can do.
What are we cutting away for? Tobias Harris and Karl Anthony Towns are literally about to fight. Why are we cutting away on the broadcast? This is the shit I want to see.
It's getting very, very chippy.
You know what?
Long Island's finest. Tobias Harris.
You know what? Give the ball to Cat in the post on Tobias Harris on this next possession. Get the ball in the post to him. That's what I'm doing.
Karl Anthony Towns is probably so tired of everyone thinking he's soft.
But I like what Cat's doing there. He's not paying any attention.
I like what Tobias is doing too.
He's soft.
I like what Tobias is doing
That's
too,
fine.
though. You know, I like the shit talk. Hey, Boston's not going to give you that much except Jaylen Brown.
I like that. Right. This is what I called. Right at him.
Oh, he got stripped.
He's looking for it. Better get back and play defense.
Oh God, you can't have a confrontation then ask for a foul the next play. Like
that's
keep
fair.
playing.
That's fair. I don't disagree with that.
It's a mismatch.
Yeah,
but it's a Sir Thompson.
Oh, good defense.
Play by
you
Brunson.
Nailed it. Good call, Dexter. Good call.
He picked up his dribble way too soon too.
Nice.
Good drive.
Way to protect.
See, that's the thing with the Knicks. When in doubt, when they need a bucket, that's the guy you go to.
Yeah.
You trust Jalen
He's
Brunson.
one of the 10 guys you trust the most in the league.
And this is developing into the sort of game where other guys are not stepping up, where he may have to bring it home again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Soft touch.
Way too easy.
Again, do I need to see Jalen Rose?
There's your boy, Jalen Rose.
Don't the Pacers play today, Jalen?
I like Jalen Rose.
I have no problem with Jalen Rose. It's just this bothers me.
You feel like Jalen Rose should be I guess he'd be in Milwaukee for that game.
That was
also nothing on Jalen Rose on television yesterday on TNT.
I thought he did great.
I like him on TV. He's good.
Yeah.
Rebound the ball. Thank you.
Also, yeah, traveling. Where
Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're rich. They fly private, you know.
You don't fly private, JJ? I thought you fly private.
No. I may have decent Delta status, but no, I don't fly.
That's
private.
that's where I'm at. Decent Delta status. That's where I'm at. Decent Delta status.
That's next for me.
Next, probably it's the next level.
But the problem is this year, I traveled a lot last year. I will not be traveling as much.
So
this
you
year
won't be able
with
to
baby.
maintain the
That's it.
Delta status.
I'm
That's the
concerned
problem.
about that. Those upgrades are nice.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
No,
For
they
sure.
are.
Okay, that's the next step for me. I
Well,
guess.
here's the catch: you got to fly with the same airline every time you
Every
fly.
time you go.
Mm,
If you start messing around, you got no chance.
mm.
Yeah, you got. So what helped is when I was working for another company, while I was doing the weather reporting for a while, I was always flying Delta.
This is terrible.
Low
Yeah.
key could have
That
been a
helped.
travel, but
The Knicks, this is a 3-point
See,
game.
this is where I'll tell you. Talking about coaching,
mm.
I'm not calling a timeout now. They miss a shot and Detroit scores. I'm calling timeout immediately.
I agree with that. I'll do that too.
Towns got to pass the ball here.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, I've been yelling for him to be aggressive. That's 1-on-2. Pass the ball. They are really letting him play. That's a foul.
I like it
I was
though.
gonna say-
I kind of like it though.
Not really.
There you go, Jalen.
Oh, my
God! No. That's what?
How many times has he blocked? Like he's getting these blocks from behind Kate Cunningham.
Call a timeout
Timeout.
right now.
I
There
thought,
it is. So
I thought that might have been a goaltend, man.
the Knicks have how many turnovers now?
There's your boy Jalen Rose. Oh my God.
Other thing with the fouls, Cat's got 4 fouls.
Oh, that's great. And Brunson has 3. Tremendous. It's unbelievable. Like, this is the thing we keep saying about Karl Anthony Towns all season long. It's like he's going to have stupid fouls. 7 turnovers for the Knicks now, by the way. So they've already got a couple in this quarter. I thought they would be credited with more. It just feels like it because they get blocks or whatever the case may be. But I think at this point, and I think both turnovers were, they were both on Karl. I'm pretty sure.
They were.
Yeah.
Because he charged.
He's forcing the ball now in the second half.
Yeah, he got stripped on that other play.
And he got stripped on the other play, So,
Yeah, he's getting strips. Cardiac Nick says him having 4 fouls is on tips. Cardiac Nick, we get it. You don't like tips. We get it. You don't
well,
like
thank
tips.
you for watching. The
You're gonna blame him for everything. Like, I mean, yes, could he have pulled him late in the second half? I guess.
No, but if Karl, I'm not gonna put that on Tibbs because he has the reputation for just making stupid fouls, just don't make stupid fouls. Now you could say Cardiac Nick's point might be like, look, if you know somebody commits stupid fouls, take them out, save them from themselves.
But how do they learn to not make stupid fouls if they're not there?
Yeah, I mean, also Karl, if you're gonna be out there, like that 3-point prop, you know what I mean? Like,
look out for your boys, man.
We're still 1 for 3 as expected.
Just look out for your boys. You could do that a little bit.
I'll tell you, man, they are letting these boys play.
Brian Lewis, who will be joining us for the post game, just put out a tweet, and he said this game looks like peak '80s playoff basketball.
Man, I was gonna say
No
80s
blood,
and 90s.
no whistle.
You know that's my game, though.
I know that's your kind of game.
Yeah, you know that's my type of game, so I'm not mad at it. This commercial. Al said that he can't watch it. Mikal Bridges is 1 for 9, by the way. 1 for 9, 0 for 4 from 3.
Look, I'm going to say this right now. Mikal Bridges shot the ball terribly, and not you, Brian, because I know you this, or not you, JJ. I know you guys look at both sides of the ball. Sometimes people don't look at both sides of the ball. He's been really good on defense. If Mikal Bridges hit shots in the fourth quarter, nobody's going to give a damn that he went 1 for 9 to this point.
But that's why I gave him so much crap in game 2, because he didn't hit the
shots when it counted.
And those were, let's be honest, monstrous shots.
And
that would have won him the game.
All were 3 wide open looks.
Yeah.
Like the one you're going to talk about is inside the final 20 seconds, but he had about 3 or 4 other possessions that were just killers.
And at the time, we said
No
that
doubt,
was a
no
good
doubt.
look, too. Like, that was a really good
Good
look.
look. We were saying it in the moment, right?
This is now a big stretch in this game for the Knicks to just extend this lead again.
Look, they've got punched in the mouth at the end of the second quarter. They got punched. It's about how you respond. We respect Detroit. We know it's going to be easy, but it's about how you respond. I don't know who's winning this Timberwolves-Lakers series.
I bet Minnesota to win the series.
I just took over 5.5.
So I did that too. I have Minnesota minus 1.5 games, and I'll tell you why.
Ooh.
I think if they play Game 7 in LA, there's no chance they're going to win. And not only because of the talent, the officiating.
I knew you were going to say it.
So
They're giving your boy all the shots.
Officiating in a Game 7 with LeBron James and Luka Doncic. Good. You saw it in game 2. It will be worse in game 7. Worse.
I think the Lakers, if they get 4, I probably think they win the series.
But I think Minnesota's going to beat them in 6. I think Minnesota's going to win again today.
No, if Minnesota wins today, then that's.
And the Lakers could win. Lakers could win there. It's not outrageous.
It's not outrageous.
If Luka's actually better.
Now to give Minnesota this, to kind of go against my theory.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the Knicks can't buy a bucket.
Since 149 in the second quarter, 19-4, and the Pistons are shooting over 50% in that stretch. Oh, that's a good
Knicks
shot.
can't buy a bucket.
That is a good shot. Created the space too. But again, look at their offensive process. Now Detroit has cleaned it up a little bit. They're attacking the rim.
They're playing. They're feeding off the momentum of the crowd. You know,
and they're getting all these.
They're like, hey, we're right back in the game. This is how Detroit wants the game to be.
Yes,
they want it ugly.
Yes.
They want it ugly.
Yes, they keep finding these lanes now. Now they have the lead. That was too easy. Why? How did he get
16?
How did he get positioning there?
First lead since 6-4. Crazy.
Look at Duran. He put a fake hand up on Josh Hart. That's why I was like, look at him. He's not even gonna like.
But Josh Hart's been taking it, and you got to take that shot.
I mean, it's an open shot.
You got to take the shot. Now it's a win for the.
Ooh,
this game is unraveled. The Knicks better be careful here.
10-0 run. I want to look at
this.
The
Is really comes at the Knicks not closing. The players not close. Not on Tibbs. The players not closing the second quarter well.
OG's 3 for 10. Bridges 1 for 9. Got the
That's
good
the
first
time.
step.
They're gonna give the Knicks that shot. But see,
Josh has to keep shooting it.
Josh has to keep shooting it.
Yeah.
He shot the ball well today. That's a good shot.
Well, and listen, Detroit, to your point, Dex, they're going to give him that shot.
They're going to because that's a win for them. But you got to take it.
They have to focus extra attention on Cat and on Brunson.
I agree. And they're going to attack Towns.
No foul over the back? Thank you.
But they're going to attack Towns because Towns is to 4 fouls.
And Detroit is going to be like, all right, Josh Hart beat us. That looks like to be their strategy. And honestly, I would be playing them
I would play the same way if I was
That's how you've seen teams do that basically the entire second half this year.
But see,
that's what happened. We were talking about the Philly series last year.
Yeah.
There were points where Philly was doing the same thing defensively.
Except he hit the shots.
And he hit the shots.
And he was taking the shots. That's my other thing too. When you're taking,
he was confident. He was way more confident.
He shot the ball confidently today. And he's gone
big time.
3 for 5 today.
Even the one he missed above the break, he was confident rising in that. He just didn't hit it, but he was confident. And I like that.
Damn, that was good defense. I think that was Beasley.
I mean, that's the foul.
Yeah.
That is a foul, a foul. He's shoving Cat out of the paint.
This is the most edge I've seen Tobias Harris have, like, ever.
Ever.
It's crazy.
Except he's like Tim Hardaway Jr. He's going to disappear in the fourth quarter as well.
He's a fake tough guy.
He's going to disappear in the fourth quarter.
I like what he's doing defensively.
I do. He's playing with grit. He's playing with.
He's doing the best he can.
I don't trust him offensively, but
I don't either.
Right now, I don't really trust anyone outside of Cade and Jalen Brunson. That could have been offensive.
That could have been.
Carl has to be careful.
Somebody's got to help hard there.
Yeah. Carl's lowering his shoulder on these drives. They're going to call him for another charge. He has to be super careful.
Well, he'll be out of the. They're going to have. I'm shocked they haven't gotten Robinson in the game. Actually, to be honest with you,
I would like to see some of that now. That's an adjustment I like to see. JJ.
I would do that right now for the rest of the quarter.
So it's 55 all. What do we think? First to 85 wins.
If you know anything about Brian, that is a Brian special of a game.
Love that. I like playoff basketball when it's low scoring and every possession matters, and it's just super edgy like this. I love it.
No problem with that.
When it's just disgusting.
I like this take. I like that.
Over 1.5, baby. Let's go.
That's our
second three.
Let's go. Over 1.5 threes, Carl Anthony Towns.
I haven't seen how many assists Mikal Bridges has had for that parlay.
Oh shit!
But you know what though? Cat has to get out of there. Cat has to get out of there. He
Good
can't
point.
contest that with 4 fouls.
Left-handed dunk, tomahawk.
Contest it.
Cade Cunningham.
Cat can't be as aggressive on defense. He has to be careful here on offense.
Dumb. What are you doing?
He just threw that up there.
He's got Robinson on the bench. He can't pick up a foul here.
Your gym coach will tell you right-handed layup on the left side like that.
That was over the back.
That's Knicks ball.
Like, you learned that shit in elementary school. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's a foul. So over the back.
That's a good call. But the Knicks also got lucky on there. It was a 4 and 5. Who shot the three? Was that
Oh
Hardaway?
my
that ended up
goodness!
with the
Look at
shot?
this.
But he couldn't. But Cat, you see Cat in
Cat,
midair?
yeah,
In
just
midair,
let
Cat's
him.
like,
If
nope,
you
I
got
just let
two
him.
fouls there, you can go up and contend. He realized once he saw Cade going up, I'm fouling him if I really contest this. You got to
Yeah.
be smart.
That's not a real contest. And he knew
Yeah,
that.
and
That was smart.
just let him go if that's going to be the case, because the referee, like, if they really wanted to, and they're not calling it in this game, but like your offhand could be an issue there. Like if he pushed them a little bit.
How
with
many
that left
fouls
hand.
Harris have?
That's what I'm checking.
5.
Jesus.
That's
And he's playing well offensively now.
nice.
Yeah,
There
that's
you
a good
go.
shot.
Smart
There you
Brunson.
go.
That's a
In
good
rhythm.
in-rhythm shot.
Crossover from the left.
He might have to do it.
Well, JJ was talking about that. You might have to bring him
He
home.
might have
Listen,
to do
I know
it.
it's a complaint amongst Knicks fans. Their supporting players right now, other than Hart, are giving them nothing on offense.
Yeah.
Are you right?
This is where it's like, all right, big fella, you're the captain of the team. We need you in the fourth quarter. Bring us home.
Do you play him the rest of the game and not sit him at all?
He's going to need a minute or two.
Yeah, I think you got to give him a blow.
Oh,
someplace.
wow.
I think
What?
you got to figure out where. Maybe early in the fourth.
The first
Yeah.
2
I don't
minutes.
think he's coming out of this
Yeah,
third quarter.
I think I'd do first couple minutes of the fourth instead of last couple
Notice
minutes of
he
the
is
third.
not going to McBride. He is not going to Payne.
Payne. What
Yeah.
if the Knicks somehow can get it in the next minute or two to get up 5? Would you give them a
Yes.
blow at the end of the
I
third?
still would give him a minute or two in the fourth quarter.
Damn, that's a tough shot. And Mikhail defended him pretty well.
I mean, that's good defense. Good offense.
Yeah, you got a guy of his caliber hits a shot like that. You got to tip your hat. Robinson in the game now. Listen, Knicks fans, you said this. Knicks fans don't like it when it becomes too heliocentric. I get it. But every game is not going to be like game 3 where you're going to have 4 of the starters score 20 plus
Oh
points.
boy, here's an adventure.
Come on, Mitch.
Ugh.
I was signed for 1 or 2. I was about to say that. No, I definitely signed for 1 or 2.
Yeah, imagine we had the 1-1 here. You know what I'm saying? Knicks would have been done if you had
That's
the
the
1-1
thing.
here. They heard you and they said, "Forget you, JJ. We're gonna give you all the Jalen Rose that you can get."
I may fire off a tweet here. I may wait for it to come out. I just want to make sure. Did he ever play for the Pistons?
He did not. We checked this.
No.
We checked this out before the series.
Nuggets, Pacers, Knicks, Raptors, Bulls.
Jalen Rose.
Do I know all the Jalen Rose teams? I think that's all of them. I may have missed
He
one.
never played for the Pistons. All right, remind me. I want to send that tweet after this goes to a commercial.
And is he Detroit royalty?
I think he is.
I have no problem with that.
He
Yeah,
is.
probably.
He
Any of those
absolutely
5
is.
fit.
That's not a foul.
That's
not a foul.
I want to see it again.
Yeah, me too. Let's see.
I thought McBride actually stopped this momentum. You see?
I can't challenge that.
You don't challenge. No. You don't challenge it.
I
don't
guess
like
I
the
guess the
call.
legs maybe, but
Are you firing off the tweet?
Yeah, can we stop showing him on TV?
the responses are going to be interesting to that one. Just don't wind up on Pistons Reddit or something. Or Detroit Reddit. Be great if Jalen Rose responded, then you get him on the show.
I like Jalen Rose. This has
I love
nothing to do with
Jalen
Jalen Rose. It's more than coverage.
Yeah.
Stop showing him on damn TV.
If
He
he's
wants to
not
go
a
to the game. He's well entitled to go to the game.
So you want show Ben Wallace, Chauncey?
Yeah.
Who's
Show Isaiah.
was TNT? Did TNT have the broadcast of the last game, game 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Harlan and
They
Reggie.
did not show him. I feel like once. Maybe I don't think they had one cutaway to him, if I remember
He
correctly.
wasn't working the game, right?
Now, granted, I was watching the draft here.
No.
They showed him a few times.
No,
at
they
home.
showed. Yeah. I remember.
This
them showing
Schroeder
him.
is a pain in the ass, and I say that in a complimentary way. Look
Oh,
at that.
That's too easy.
That was a bad.
Oh,
time.
Brunson's hurt.
No, Brunson is hurt. Oh man, this is
The
not
thing with
good.
these Brunson injuries, though, dude, he goes back in the locker room, comes back in the game. You're gonna
Yeah.
need that.
I do wonder if, like, is
He's
this
grabbing the ankle.
right
This ain't
ankle.
good.
so? Rick Brunson's probably going to talk. Is this going to be a retaliate? Is someone from the Pistons going to get a receipt? That's what I wonder. Is it one of those things? Like, I want to see the replay. If it was like just, is someone going to hard foul Schroeder or whatever? Like, this could metastasize in a way where it explodes into something else.
I gotta see that replay.
If they don't have him, then we will see you for Game 5, more than likely.
They can't. Hey man, Levi's doing a great job with these Beyonce's commercials. That's all I want to say. That's all.
I looked over.
wanna
I'm
say.
like,
You
yo,
already know. The last time they had a commercial, I thought Salute to you.
No
That's
shot she
salute.
wears Levi's on the train like that or whatever.
Of course not. That's
No
like when
shot.
you see somebody doing some, wearing it. Like you can see an athlete driving a Nissan Rogue. They're not driving a Nissan Rogue. You know this. You're not.
Maybe not an NBA athlete, but
Remember when like LeBron was doing Kia ads?
yeah.
Yes.
LeBron ain't driving no Kia.
No shot.
No,
Come on.
no. Yeah.
Come on now.
I don't know enough about cars to know what's wrong with Kia or whatever the case would be, but I get the sense like it's just
You know enough about money.
Yeah, right. That's the thing.
That's all
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need to know. You know enough about
not
money.
that I got it like that because I don't.
You know
But,
enough about money.
Like
JJ, since we're on a commercial break, we talked about the Jets. What did you think about what the Giants did?
Okay.
oh,
So
yeah.
I think process was amazing. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They could not take a quarterback with the third pick.
And he did
There
not.
was not one worthy of taking with
So
the third
Abdul
pick.
Carter was
Slam
the
dunk.
guy.
Yeah.
Slam dunk. Didn't get cute. I think he's going to be an all-pro defensive player.
He might be the best player in this draft.
Some people
I
have
would have taken him over Travis Hunter.
Some people
Yeah,
have
I'm,
rated.
I'm worried about like the sustainability of what Travis Hunter is going to try to do.
That's me.
Yeah.
And also knowing the history of the Giants, when they're right, the defensive line is great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quarterback. I didn't love Jackson Dart in college, but here's what I would say. Brian Dable. If this is the guy you wanted, let's see it.
Uh-huh.
Right? Bottom line.
They have Ole Miss ties too, the organization.
Well, they do. Joe Shane's daughter
yes.
goes to Ole Miss.
Yes.
So I'm sure he's watched a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he's a part of the staff. Joe Judge is on that staff.
Mm.
And I think Charlie Weiss is involved.
Yeah.
Who's an old Belichick.
Old Belichick guy.
Parcells, Belichick guy.
Yeah.
So they like him. Now, I don't think he's ready to play right away, but here's the dirty little secret though with them. They have basically two avenues to try to sell progress. They can win games early in the year, which I don't think they will. The schedule's too tough. Team's not good enough. They need Dart to come in like late November and play. They don't have to win. If he looks good and they play well for 4 or 5 weeks,
save their jobs.
They'll be back next year.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, is that unfair to put on a rookie quarterback? Maybe, but that's how they're selling progress on their jobs.
Yeah.
Because if they're terrible, and Dart doesn't look good, they'll draft the quarterback again, and they'll be gone.
I'm still pro sitting a first-round pick at quarterback.
I think there's a lot of positives to it.
Yeah.
What is he grabbing right now? Is it knee or ankle?
Look like ankle.
Let's see. There's Brunson. So he banged knees with Schroeder.
No, it looks like he's grabbing his knee.
They bang knees a little bit, but I don't know if there's a twist. That's the thing.
His foot got caught right there. That right.
Yeah.
foot.
Oh boy.
Oh.
That's not good. He's walking his own power. That helps.
He's limping. Yeah, but that's not always.
It's not always
It's not always a sign you'll be back. So
He does go to the locker room though with a lot of these,
yeah.
puts the Superman cape on and comes back.
But Dex, this is something I've told you about before, and JJ, we've talked about this like just here in other shows and just during the season. I get worried about like how much you put on him, how much he has to carry.
Listen,
because of stuff like this.
Guy missed a month.
Missed a month. And that's the Pistons
a lot of
got to
space.
give him a lot of confidence.
It is
B-ball Paul.
It is amazing how this game
B-ball.
turned.
Yeah, this game really
This
turned.
game really turned, man. And we were talking about Brunson playing the entire game.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that changes quick, huh?
Also, if you're the Knicks, you're perfectly fine with Paul Reed trying to force it up in that spot.
Now, who's getting you buckets with this lineup on the floor?
Ooh.
You don't have Towns. You don't have Brunson. This is where Anunoby needs to step up.
I think
There's been a zero in this game.
I think it's McHale.
McHale in the mid-range,
McHale's
but
a better playmaker. He should be out of this. Like he should look to attack more.
But you know what this means? It's fucking campaign time.
Yeah.
Well,
he's gonna take.
He's got no problem taking a shot.
Does he not? He has no problem at all.
He's like, I got some burn. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Oh damn! Hard
Wide open. Oh,
what a brick!
Jesus.
This is an ugly offensive game.
Oh, that's too easy. That's a good shot.
That's Beasley.
Yep.
This is about to really
The shimmy.
unravel for the Knicks.
Miguel Beasley, as I call him, because of the shimmy.
This.
You're gonna need Towns to be a freaking horse in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. He's really the answer. He's not on the court right now, but he's in foul trouble.
All the way, OG.
Yeah, he telegraphed that. See, that's going to be the thing. Towns is going to come in the game because he has to carry, especially if Jalen Brunson's not going to return, which presumably we'll get updates on shortly.
Yeah, I'm checking Twitter.
But Towns in that position where he has to carry, and then on top of that, you can overload, you can just send help, you can double in different spaces. Towns is back in right now. He also has 4 fouls, so they're going to be attacking him from a defensive standpoint.
On the bench.
You'll know he's not playing the rest of this quarter.
Yeah.
You'll know in the fourth quarter if he's coming back in this game.
Want to hear a stat? Knicks not named Brunson or Hart are combined 11 of 44 from the floor.
That's 25% exactly.
Think about it. You've gotten 0 offensively from Bridges and Anunoby. 0.
God.
Inefficient Towns.
It's a complete opposite of Game 3, where you had everybody was highly efficient.
Excellent point.
And listen, every game's not going to be like that. So I always say you have to learn to win games when things are not going well. That has to happen.
Every playoff game is different.
Every playoff game is different. But you mentioned there's a time where Anunoby's got to step up here. Towns is going to have to step up big time here. Mikal Bridges is going to have to step up if they're going to win. They're still in striking distance.
Oh, boy.
Give me the 3.
That is a deep 3.
That's what you need from Cat.
Well,
not all of that.
The problem that they're going to have to run into now in this fourth quarter if Brunson's not back to keep Towns out of foul trouble. You can get away with it now with Paul Reed the game. You might have to go to the double big lineup here.
I agree.
You might have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to kill your floor spacing.
Especially with Towns in that foul trouble. Oh.
See, Beasley's found a little confidence here.
Uh-oh.
Guy hasn't hit a shot in 2.5 games, and now he's starting to hit a few.
That was actually good defense.
And he started. It's worth noting. Last game, he started heating up in the fourth quarter. He was 3 for 5 in the fourth.
Shooter again. This guy's unbelievable. This guy's killed the Knicks.
Oh, they didn't get it in time.
No,
they waved it off.
Yeah, he shouldn't have passed it.
Yeah, didn't get it in time.
He shouldn't have passed it, or he should have just floated it up.
Let me see.
I don't think that's going to count.
That's the 3.
Beasley was 3 for 5 in the fourth quarter last time, so he pointed at Tim Hardaway after. That's bad by Campaign there. Yeah, that's not in. That looked late. It wasn't Aaron Gordon yesterday, which is one of the craziest game winners I've ever seen.
And clearly a good shot, by the way.
Yeah,
absolutely. It was clear.
Wasn't sure live. The minute I saw the replay, I'm like, that's a good shot.
It went through. Yeah. Aaron Gordon is.
I still like the Clippers to win that series.
So do I. So do I. Despite that loss, I always said Clippers is 7. That was my pick for them. I think it's going 7. They should. There's an argument they should be up 3-1 easily.
Yeah. This game, they had no business. I couldn't believe they got back in that game.
I agree.
But here's the thing.
I bet you the Knicks now, by the way, speaking of betting.
Yeah.
They're probably Detroit's probably -5.5 for the game, if not more.
Let's look.
I'm curious what that live line is.
6.5.
Really?
I might take the Knicks in the points there.
Is that feels like we don't think Brunson's coming back a little bit?
Not necessarily.
I feel like
7.
I feel like if you told me Brunson's not coming back, the line is maybe slightly more, but 6.5 is. I mean, I'm tempted to take the points, but I don't want to do a live bet on this game.
Yeah, some of these bets, and
Beasley has 8 points.
This money line felt good like an hour ago. Doesn't feel so good now.
So Beasley had 2 points before those 2 threes at the end there. Wow. I'm not seeing a Jalen Brunson. He's returned to the bench actually as of 10 seconds ago.
That's the thing with Brunson, man. They shoot him up, gets his ass back out there. So he's tough.
Knicks in the points, maybe. I
mean, what's he going to look like?
Would anybody be shocked if Brunson has a
big fourth quarter? No.
15 to 18 point fourth quarter here and brings the Knicks home? Would be shocked.
Now, my question is, do they need more than that?
That was the Knicks' fewest points in a quarter, second fewest points in a quarter this season with 14 points.
What was the fewest?
I don't know.
Guys, we might be making a mistake here. I'm taking a 6.5. I want to have a little fun here for this.
I like it.
You know what?
I like it.
Let's have a little fun.
I like it too, though. I like it too.
Let's have a little fun.
Yeah.
Let's have a little fun.
Greg Film Stuff says Knicks can still win this game without Brunson, but who will step up? We have too much talent to lose this game.
Let's go through these. I can't wait to see these stat lines. I'm gonna pull it up right now because I want some comedy.
It ain't good.
It ain't pretty.
It ain't good. I'll tell you that. It ain't good.
The shooting is so bad on both sides.
Fans, if you're watching with us, how are you feeling about
The
this
Knicks
game?
are shooting 31% from the field, but listen to this. Bridges are 1 of 10. Anunoby is 3 of 12. 0-7 combined, by the way, from 3.
Sheesh.
Towns, a very 2000s-esque stat line, 7 of 18. And that's with him hitting a couple of shots here late.
Right. And 3 of those being threes.
Knicks have, I was actually surprised they have 5 bench points. They were all from McBride early.
They should have took that McBride over 3.5.
They only have 5? Oh, my goodness.
The Knicks bench
It's
is a
crazy
problem.
they've
The
hit
Knicks bench
10
is a problem.
Is it me or is it crazy the Knicks have hit 10 threes in this game?
It doesn't feel like it.
Because they hit them all early. That's why.
They have 4 early.
Look at
That
the
means
stat.
they hit 4 in this quarter.
39 to 16. They've been
A
out
40-point quarter?
in the second
Oh.
quarter.
Since that, yeah, since they were up 16.
So that means they hit 4 threes in the first and in the third. What? What is that shot?
Yeah, it's a bad shot.
Do you practice that shot?
In
I'm
case
sure he
you're
does.
wondering, Brunson's still not back in the game.
Not
On the
yet.
bench, but not back in the game.
Yeah. And Towns is putting up shit like that. You're gonna need to put in Brunson sooner.
That's on tackle.
That could have been a foul also. I thought they went in. What?
I thought it went in, but it didn't.
Oh boy. That's 5?
No, that's not on Towns.
That was
I
on
think they
Schroeder.
called something down low.
It was down low.
That was
Schroeder and-
Towns.
No, Towns had the ball top.
That was my bucking?
No, I think they called on Bridges. They called an offensive foul on Bridges.
Okay.
And that's why PJ Tucker and the Nick bench was screaming.
Brunson's got the knee brace on there.
I mean, the fact that he's on a bench is a good sign.
I think that foul was on Anunoby.
I'll find out. That is a tough floater also. Let's see.
Knicks the largest deficit of the game, 9.
Yeah, it was Bridges. Damn, 28 and 8 efficiently for Kay Cunningham. I don't like that shot at all. I don't like that shot in general when guards take that, except for maybe Steph.
Knicks are getting lucky with Detroit still shooting so terribly
Yeah.
from downtown.
Where are the Knicks finding offense, though?
That's the question.
Right
Brett
here,
was
it's
asking.
campaign and Karl Anthony Towns.
Mikal Bridges and OG have to step up here offensively.
They're trying to run something, but Karl, you can take Durant to the basket. You were doing it last game. Ugh, don't like that.
I don't like
OG
shots
can't buy a bucket.
He can't. He's getting space, but fading away.
That's a
So-
foul.
See, you let Kay Cunningham go downhill too deep into the paint. Also, Mikal Bridges
Brunson
sitting
coming
back.
in.
Brunson's got to save their ass.
Yeah, on a bad wheel. Look at this. That's easy foul call. You're not in position at all.
I don't like the vibes, man.
Detroit does.
This game really turned on a freaking dime.
Whew.
Robert Rivera here says Pistons are on a 2-quarter run. You are right, sir. You are right. You are right.
That's a great comment. Oh man. Yee.
I feel like the energy has been just sapped out from the fan. This felt like we talked about it though. We saw it. We've watched too many NBA games. We called it before it happened. You said they had to finish that quarter strong
because you know the Detroit
We
run was
said it.
coming. You knew
Yeah.
it. Home. You got to always assume the home team's going to go on a run, especially if they have shooters.
Now, I could sit here and assume here with 10-14 to go in the fourth quarter, the Knicks down 10 could be 11 after this free throw, that the Knicks have a run left in them.
No, it's just 10. Yeah, I would assume I mean,
But
you got to
with
see it
Brunson
now.
on the
You're
floor.
running out of time though.
yeah, and
Brunson, McBride, Hart, Bridges, and Towns is the lineup.
who's shown you outside of Hart and Brunson that they can score today?
Towns sometimes.
It's a terrible
What is
possession.
this? What is this? What is that?
It's an awful possession.
And an offensive foul.
No, I think they.
What is
I don't know
that?
if they called a foul on that. I think they just.
That could have been.
No, they
'Cause
called
look
the
at
travel.
this.
He took 10 zillion steps.
What is that? Oh, this
That's
is
a terrible pass. Brunson moving fine, guys.
Would you sit Carl for a few minutes?
I would do what JJ said. I would go to the Robinson lineup.
The issue is
take Deuce out.
I think he's going to play Cat until he fouls out, to be honest.
I may take Hart out, but the problem is you're not getting enough offense and the spacing on the floor. This is where the Knicks are a big short, not a big short, another big wing short on this bench. They need the Knicks bench is a problem. We keep saying the Knicks bench is a problem.
Yeah.
Is that Rick Mahorn? Right. See, this is a Piston you want to see. And it's Patrick. There we go. They'd be proud of this game. This is their kind of game.
Yeah.
Especially Rick. Call. Where's Bill Lambier?
It's a great call. Is Lambier still coaching in the WNBA?
No. Okay. No, he once the Detroit Shock folded, he's not been coaching for years. Brunson would have shot. Brunson comes back.
Remember, he was with the Liberty.
He coached in the WNBA for a long time.
Yeah, he was with the Liberty and the Aces.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because training camp started today. So. Oh, wow. Way too easy.
Too easy.
He has 10 now.
What do you need, 15?
Yeah. No, 14. Tim Hardaway on him, huh?
Looking like the Jalen Brunson only show.
God.
Well, Brunson,
you know what?
Score.
For anybody who's got a problem with it, where are the other points coming from?
That's what I'm saying.
You want to see Bridges and Anunoby, who's out of the game, yuck up shots? No, thank you.
Both have stunk today.
You got to get stops here, though.
Tim Hardaway really thought the screen was coming. What a fake. What a spin move.
What's the call?
With the way the Knicks stopped, if he got that wide open shot, I was going to go ballistic. Knicks
called
the ball.
They called timeout.
No, timeout.
Oh, they called the timeout.
That was an interesting time for JB Vickers to have to call a timeout there.
Don't know how many they have left. This has been a good, intense, fun playoff game. And it's close.
I mean, it's fun if you like.
I was going to say, I haven't found it. The last 2.5 quarters, I have not found particularly fun.
I think the game itself has been a fun watch. But I understand,
if you're a fan, this is not fun.
From an emotional standpoint.
See, that was the end of the Pistons there, that 92 series.
Yep. That was the first playoff series I really watched and started watching the Knicks and became a fan.
So the Knicks won that series, pushed Jordan to 7.
The next
X-Man was on that team.
X-Man. Xavier McDaniel.
And it was gone the following year. Went to the Celtics.
Went to the Celtics, correct. Yep.
I miss when the Celtics were bad.
And I'm telling you, the Garden was rocking for that Pistons series. I mean, I was young. I was like 7 years old, but the Garden was rocking for that Pistons series.
That was like the dark Celtics era.
Yeah.
I want that.
That was the beginning of the dark Celtics era. The Dana Barros.
I want that back.
Are you guys watching and I'm not just plugging
I have not.
Because he's my boss. But the Simmons Celtic City, and I'm not a Celtic fan, obviously.
But I've heard it's great.
I'm going to legitimately watch it.
Highly recommend it.
Because we love docs, and I heard it's very well produced. I know you're not.
Everybody is in it.
But we love what the Ringer does. So we have
everybody. I'm talking Bird, McHale, Parrish. They got now obviously Bill Russell passed, but they have Bill Russell interviews.
But they got Bill Russell interviews.
Yes, Red Auerbach interviews. And for me, I know the 80s era, I know there's been enough on it, even though it's before my time. Like the 60s, 70s NBA, I found that fascinating.
Yeah, because
there's a forgotten era in the sport.
I appreciate how much Bill cares about the history of the game being told, because people keep thinking that the stuff that happens today.
Yeah, when basketball started with Bird Magic, and it's like, no, it didn't.
Right. And so I'm going to see it just after the playoff.
How much have you, from what you've watched, have they gone into the dominance of those 60s Celtics teams?
You'll see it.
Okay.
Russell going through what he had to go through at the time, even some of the racism and stuff that he had to deal with.
That was the interesting dynamic there, because the Celtics with his very inclusive, first black starting five, Casey Jones, black head coach, the whole deal.
Yeah.
See, Boston, obviously there was a lot of stuff going on.
Boston was being Boston.
So that's you notice though in the 60s, they don't wear Boston on the uniforms. They wear Celtics on the uniforms.
Was that part of the reason that they were trying to maybe separate some things?
Into it.
How you want? Okay.
I might watch this a little sooner now.
I knew. You know what's funny, JJ? Because I'm a big basketball history nut. I knew that, but I never thought about it in the ties.
Because remember, Red Auerbach's a New York City guy through and through.
Yes.
And listen, and people. That's the Celtics deserve more credit for that.
And how about I did not know the Knicks tried to hire Red Auerbach. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
In the 70s.
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised by
He ended up staying.
But he ended up.
What could have been?
Oof.
I mean,
Now,
listen,
you read. Here's the
Red
thing, though.
Holtzman,
They
who's a
would
great
have
coach.
gotten this was post Red Holtzman, so this would have been. I think
so
it was
post
early
73.
'80s. Yeah, it was
Oh.
like right early '80s,
Got you.
right
Okay.
before Bird.
Okay.
Oh, so you could have had him coaching young Patrick.
Or Michael Ray
Or,
Richardson.
well, I don't even think it was coaching. It would have been running the team. But still,
I mean, that would have been better, probably.
Look at this, dude, in the first half.
At that point.
They scored 50 first half points. Guys, they have 18 points.
On 7 of 28.
25% shooting. Wow.
Hard to win games like
from
that,
the field,
guys.
not from three.
Here's Beasley.
Oh,
Again.
boy.
Jesus.
Give him credit. That's a nice play out of the timeout.
Oof.
You got to give him credit.
Yeah, that's a great call.
I thought it was weird the Bickerstaff called the timeout, but he drew up something good. He saw something.
I need one more point from Beasley.
See, Bridges will never go all the way to the cup. Always is going to stop and think about the midi.
What is Towns doing? What is Towns doing? What is Towns doing?
That's a difficult shot, but he hit it.
He'll hit that and then miss the wide open babies. I mean, go figure.
Look,
I think they're just trying to piss
Are the Knicks going to make this a game in the final 4 minutes or no? What do you guys think?
I say
I
yes.
lean yes.
I'm not so sure.
I'm not sure they win, but I lean yes that they'll make it a game.
I'll tell you what,
I have
the
my
next
doubts on whether
3
or
to
not
4
they win.
possessions on defense will be very telling of this. Whether this is not, obviously, they got to get stops. Now that's a guy you want to shoot. That's a good defensive possession for them.
Get out and run.
Good
One more.
pass. Good shot. Oh,
Gotta hit it.
I'm okay with that attempt.
Gotta hit it. I would have liked one more, but then again, Bridges would have been shooting at
I
3.
think that's good process on their part.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know how excited you can be about
boy.
that. Great
Oh
pass.
my God.
Wow,
The Knicks
careless.
the Knicks got lucky there. 'cause
They
his
sure
spacing was all
did.
messed up.
Asar's been very.
Oh, Chris Webber. Why would this?
You know what,
get
though?
some more
At least-
FaceTime?
Hey, at
Why
least-
Chris Webber get some more
At least he
FaceTime?
played for the Pistons.
He did.
And I know I got some shade on Twitter. Oh, he's Mr. Detroit. I know that. Isaiah Thomas is more Detroit than Jalen Rose. I'm
And that
sorry.
man is
For the
from
Pistons.
And that man is from Chicago.
If it's a Lions game, but again, if it's a Lions game, show Jalen Rose all you want. Show me the Pistons. That's what I would want to see here. Show me the damn Pistons. Just like at a Knicks game, Patrick Ewing is not from New York. I want to see Patrick's reaction.
That's fair.
Not Lance Stevenson.
And we love Lance Stevenson.
There you go.
Jalen Brunson.
Stops, though. This is about
That is
stops.
6 fourth quarter points for Jalen Brunson. But you're right, it's about stops.
And he's got most of their points in this quarter.
They got to keep this a 2-possession game with 4 minutes to go. And they
I'll
got
take that.
You got a chance,
He's
right?
going to post up Bridges.
Somebody's got help.
No, I like that defense. Love the
That
defense.
is good defense.
Fading away.
That was a
should have been
foul. I guess they're not, you know what? They're consistent. They're just not calling it. That looked like a foul, too.
It did.
Nick Ball?
Yep. Nick Ball.
Yes.
Way to not give up.
Let's see.
They challenged, so they do not.
That's off
It's
his
hit
leg.
off his leg.
That's right.
They would have lost
Did
anyway.
they challenge?
No,
Oh,
they
they
used it.
didn't. Oh,
In
you
5.
used
We
it.
talked about how
I forgot he
crummy
used
a
it at
challenge that
6:30 in
was.
the
Yeah.
first quarter.
Yeah.
We forgot about that. Oh my God. I completely forgot about that.
I'll tell you, man. I've never sat courtside for an NBA. I've sat like a few rows up. I've sat when you sit courtside at a game.
It's a
Yeah.
different
It's
experience.
college. It's just like insane.
Yeah.
Bridges!
Wow.
How
With
about
another
that?
big 3.
Is that his
Oh,
first?
See, when Bridges
Second, he hit that tough one.
No, I was going to say, is this first since when?
Well,
he hit the other one.
he
a
hit
couple
the other
months
one
ago,
when they were
like
down
2
11.
possessions ago.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
looked super tough behind the
Yeah.
basket almost.
So he's 2 for, I don't know, a lot, but he's
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 2
2
for his last 2.
That's what I was gonna say. His last
if he's
two.
heating up, then
Oh, that's good D.
Carl,
No.
that might not be on Towns.
No, it's not on Towns.
It's
It'll be on
not,
Bridges.
but I want to see I want to see if it's worth the challenge.
Let's see.
I thought it was on Bridges. Towns, good. No, it's on who? It's on Harder Bridges.
Harder Bridges, I think.
Listen, and Bridges started talking to shit. When he starts talking to shit, that I do like. That I like.
Looks like that might have been on him.
And you know what else is looking good, JJ? That plus 6.5.
Long way to go,
Long way
Dexter.
to go.
Long way to go.
I hear you. I hear you.
First player since 97-98 with 10-5-5-3. Wonder who the guy was to do that. 97-98. That reeks of like Jason Kidd.
10-5-5-3?
Yeah.
97, 98
Yeah.
In what?
A playoff
in
game.
playoff game. It's funny. I'm just thinking.
Tell you,
of that
man,
year.
Schroeder is an irritant. Doesn't he just annoy you?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? It's like
You love him
McConnell
if
with
he's
the
on-
Pacers.
Oh
You
yeah,
love
when he's
on your team.
You love him. Nice.
Cade's actually defending him like pretty well.
Spike getting into it.
Go,
Look at all of them just looking at it, just
They're
giving
like,
him
this
the
is a crazy
side eye.
man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You know this, JJ. Brian, you know this too. There's another good defensive
Oh,
possession.
Grab the
Bridges.
ball.
Bridges has been tremendous on defense. Well, good
that-
job not
that-
jumping
Schroeder,
into
I was
him.
going to say Schroeder could have drawn a
Yeah.
foul there.
Yeah, that was
Watch
close.
the switch with Brunson on Harris. Good defense there too. Got the board.
Yes.
Excellent defense by Josh Hart.
That
All
was
the way.
right. He has to take that.
Foul.
Oh.
Thank you. Let's go here.
That's
Next-
a good.
What did I talk about? The next 3 to 4 possessions were going to be important.
They got
on defense.
stops.
They got stops.
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
their defense has led to offense.
Which we haven't seen a lot of.
Clear
this
foul.
Yeah, grab it.
Yeah.
It's also nice knowing they don't have a challenge, you know?
year. Yeah, yes, good point. It is nice knowing they have not.
So
have
if this
talent.
becomes a late game offense situation where it's like Brunson and Cunningham largely running the possessions, like that's where this is going to get interesting. You obviously favor Brunson there,
I
but
favor Brunson. I trust Brunson. I also
the,
like
the problem is Cade, and not that Brunson can't, but Cade's obviously going to kick out the shooters, and like Beasley's dangerous. Tim Hardaway Jr. less so, but
Is he getting Brunson a blow? Oh, they called
No,
a timeout. I was like, I don't think Brunson's coming out of this game.
What I like here too is that the shots Brunson have hit have been good, not too taxing on him. And now this has gotten tight again, guys. All the pressure shifts back to Detroit.
Well, and listen, at the end of these games,
I trust,
Brunson knows how to finish.
Yep.
yeah.
And I even trust some other Knicks to step up, despite them not stepping up today. Now, has Cat taken a shot in this fourth quarter?
He made a 3.
Made it 3.
Made it
Wait,
3
was
and
that
then
this quarter?
took a bad shot, but then he took him out of the game. No, he's still in the game.
Still in the game. He made that 3 at the beginning of the
I
quarter.
think he
You're
made
right
that
about
3, yeah.
Robert Rivera says Deuce has been pretty disappointing. Yeah, he's been disappointing all series.
I mean, Knicks have 5 bench points.
And they're all his.
no,
Landry Shamet only played that 1 minute.
yeah,
The Knicks haven't
We're gonna
played.
get some Knicks fans talking about giving some PJ Tucker minutes.
The
So
crazy
that's-
thing about Schroeder is he doesn't have a lot of points, but he's still
He's
impacting the
making-
game in so many different ways.
He impacts winning when it matters. Listen, I know people like just sort of stick their noses up at international basketball, but that dude is a winning player because I've seen what he's done
Oh
with Germany.
yeah, no
In the
doubt.
he was the World Cup MVP. He was really good in the Olympics. Like I think he just needs a home. He just needs to be.
But
I
he
hope he
is-
stays here. Honestly, like that'd be good for his career. I think if he stays in Detroit as one of their sort of glue guys.
So what's interesting about him, though, he needs to stay as like a backup point guard.
yeah, a 6-man basically.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's a perfect
run the
role
bench.
for him.
Just run the bench. Because if he's a starter, then it's like
He's that like on a Nets, like he's
yeah.
on a bad team.
Yeah. I think 6-man backing up Cade, potentially closing, like that's perfect for them.
I agree.
No Knicks player other than Deuce has played 10 or more minutes off the bench.
I would like to. I would
Mitch
like
has only
to see
played
some
9
Mitch,
minutes.
which has
I'm
killed
surprised by
the
that.
parlay for me.
Well, you know why he's not playing Mitch? Because he's trying to get offense. And he's getting,
Yeah.
he's like, if I put Robinson in the game, that's one less guy they got to worry about.
Yeah, he can't make free throws either.
If the other wing guys were playing better, I wonder if he'd be more willing to get Mitch back out there.
I just saw he's 0 for 4 on free throws. I didn't even realize he hadn't made one. So, like, that's a guy that you just can't
It's a
play
liability.
down the stretch. Yeah,
Unless you're up and you worry more about your
Right.
defense, which
Right.
they're not.
right. You're trailing. You want to generate offense. And we've said with how many lineups, all right, who's scoring out of this lineup, the non-Brunson lineups or whatever. And it's like Mitchell Robinson just hurts that.
How about the career renaissance for Catherine O'Hara?
Oh yeah.
Home Alone,
Home
Home Alone
Alone
2,
too. Yeah,
Schitt's Creek.
I don't even watch Schitt's Creek.
My wife does. I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
She got into it.
haven't
She's
seen
in The
it.
Last of Us this year.
One of my favorite games.
So I did
favorite
not.
game.
So full
Favorite video game
disclosure,
of
I
all
did
time.
not watch last Sundays.
I didn't
I
watch.
haven't either.
I
I'm
haven't
behind.
watched any episode from
From
the season
season
yet,
2,
but I
yeah.
played both games.
But I
Okay.
played both
Huge
games
fan of the
also.
game. I
Yeah.
know what happens.
Yeah.
So you know what happens. I
Yeah,
don't.
I know what happens.
Tremendous.
Text me after you watch that.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'll give you.
yeah,
I'll give
yeah.
you
I
some
know something.
context.
Bro.
You know what happens.
I know what
based upon-
happens, but text me. Just text me.
And
Yep.
I'll say this: like, if you play the game and watch the series, I would say leans more into the emotion, whereas the game is more violent.
I can understand that.
Particularly in the second game. I would say.
Particularly the second game.
Yes.
So we'll see how the second season is. I thought the first season was great, and I love that it was the same, the essence of The Last of Us, but a little different in terms of like the storylines or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it was. They changed some things, but it was good.
They changed some things.
Knicks going to line here?
Well.
Yeah, because Josh Hart hit that first free throw.
Yeah.
He
Still has one more.
This might be the last of this game.
This might be the
Knicks.
closing lineups for both teams.
They got to know be back in the game. So there you go. Bench, see ya. Well, the only way it won't be is if Cat fouls out.
And Detroit has Cade, Schroeder.
Schroeder should absolutely finish the game if you're Detroit.
I see Tobias, Hardaway.
Come on, Josh. Free throws.
I think Beasley's going to come in at some point. I don't know for who, but he's getting a quick break.
There's Ben Wallace.
Great Ben Wallace.
That's a guy you can show. Thank you.
They have not shown Jalen Rose in the fourth quarter. Just want to be clear.
I wonder if they saw my tweet.
Dex, this won't surprise you at all, but you know Ben Wallace is one of my all-time favorites.
I love Ben Wallace. That's off.
Wow. Soft shooter's touch. That could be a potential backbreaker later on.
You know what that is? That's a very unfriendly role.
Oh, Brunson has a step. Yo, he's so good at using the backboard.
Man.
He's having a big fourth quarter here.
I said it. I said we shot. He scores 18. I think he has 10.
Defense leading to offense.
Gotta get more stops. 10 in this quarter is what Jalen Brunson has.
Least surprising thing.
He just wants to put on the cape, guys. That's all he did. He just wanted to put on the cape, and now he's good.
Good defense.
Turnover.
Knicks defense has been very good in this quarter.
Again, who is going to help this guy out and make a shot? Because eventually they're going to start doubling him.
Get into the pick and roll.
They're going to double him. See this? I don't like it.
He's shooting a three.
But that's good.
Yes!
Whoa!
Let's go.
He was setting that. He got way too much space.
Clutch.
Look at his fight.
Look at Jalen Rose.
Yeah.
Jalen Rose will
sit your ass down, Jalen Rose.
Oh man.
84.
Oh, we got ourselves a game. You said it 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, good call. I wasn't sure.
They had to get stops though. Got to continue to get stops.
That's good defense.
Yeah.
That's good offense.
That's a tough shot, Dennis.
Your boy Schroeder.
Damn.
Being a pest.
It's like the offense in this game all of a sudden is
coming
to life.
We said first to 85.
We might get to 100.
Somebody set a screen.
That's the thing. Too much ISO.
This is literally as brilliant as Brunson has been.
It's the end of
It's
every
literally
playoff game.
one-on-one. It's one-on. Yeah, it's nobody else touched the ball in that possession.
It's the end of every Knick playoff game. I feel like they just do that.
And no 1-5.
Every old school coach
get during in the action. They're not doing any of that.
It's funny because at the end of NBA games, it's like both coaches agree. All right, last 4 minutes, ISO your best player, and then we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? It's like I don't understand why this happens every time, but it just does. So
I think there's times when you have like a Tim Hardaway Jr.
Damn, that was pretty good defense in hindsight.
But this is a great shot here by Cade too, man.
Yeah,
in the space,
and he didn't push off like the way Tatum does, seemingly every step back. He just kind of like he leaned over a little bit.
The problem I always say with coming back though, right? Like the Knicks were down. How much were Knicks down by as much? 10, 11.
Then got to 11.
The problem with coming back,
16 earlier.
In the fourth quarter, is when you come back.
It exerts so much. Well, you exert so much energy to get back in the game.
Yeah,
you got to get home free,
and you got to get that lead.
That's what happened in game 2
because you got right. But when remember I said this when
they tied it, they couldn't get ahead.
Couldn't get ahead,
and created a good look.
In game 1, they got ahead.
Yeah.
But it's easier to do that when you're home. You got the crowd energy behind you.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to do it on the road, it's hard. And
you've gotten Brunson's having a great game, man. He's 50% from the field. He's 30. He's hit 4 threes. Like,
I feel like home court matters more, especially if you're a young team like the Pistons. Because like the Knicks, I mean, even if you look at their road against the spread numbers, for example, like they're good.
They play very well on the road.
They play
better on the road maybe than at home.
With Tom Thibodeau, like they've done a really good job, like after losses on the road. But with Detroit, I mean, Detroit surprisingly is good in those spots too this season. Jalen Rose again is good in those spots too this season. But I think with Detroit, like at home in a playoff game, you'd much rather, because if you're at home in game 2 in Detroit, maybe you don't not in game 2, game 1, maybe you don't collapse in the fourth quarter the way you did against the Knicks. So
that's fair.
I hate when they do that. Come back from commercial, they tease you, and then they go back into commercial.
Really?
Come on. I hate that. ESPN does that a lot. ESPN and ABC. I get it though. You know, they got a lot of bills to pay over there.
They do. But the flow of the game, we kind of just like it to continue. We'll see.
All right, comments.
Are people angry? Are they feeling good?
Greg Brunson 3, Mel R. Refs cheating. He pushed off. And
Listen, I'll say this about the officiating in this game. It has been evenly officiated.
I'm fine with
it has been mean mugging on both ends, letting the boys play.
Also, I'm cool with it. Like, I think the officiating. I think it's actually been the best officiating game of the series, if I'm being honest.
Also, Asher says, "Let's go Mets."
Mets are on fire, dude. And they should have won on Friday night too.
They should have.
Soto makes that play in the outfield. You got to catch that ball.
Yeah, you got to catch that ball.
Got to catch that ball.
Weather's getting to the point where I could finally go to a game soon.
Have you been to a Yankee game yet?
I went opening day.
Oh, you did?
I went opening day.
Too cold.
Cold weather.
Opening day was decent.
It was for March. It was acceptable.
Yeah.
There was some. You're so right. Dude.
Cold weather.
There was some.
Especially
now,
by City Field.
This past week, the weather was great. Yeah. We had an amazing New York. I'm annoyed because I didn't get to play golf. So.
Where do you play? What do you got?
You tell me where I play. I play anywhere.
I've been telling some of the guys here. I've been saying for years. I like golf. I've been meaning my friend Gerard, my buddy Gerard, to get clubs and start playing.
Once you get into it, dude, trust me, your wife is gonna hate you.
Do you play any of the Brooklyn courses?
Oh yeah, Marine is great.
My parents' house is by Marine.
So Marine is one of the best, if not the best, public course in the city. It's just a bitch with traffic getting there.
And then Diker, you play Diker?
Not in great shape.
Not great. Diker's never been in great shape. Yeah.
That's why I go to Silver Lake. Easier to drive for me.
Oh,
too.
wow.
Come on, Cat.
Big three from Cat.
And and you know what, too?
Great pass from Brunson.
Good look there. They moved the basketball.
Duran fell asleep.
Good. Yeah. You can't give Cat that much space.
It was so locked in on the ISO. But those are the type of shots
Cat
you
is
want to
4 or 5 from 3.
Yeah, he's been good from downtown.
Those are the type of shots you want to generate off those isolations if you're going to do them. Like, try to find your teammates. Oh, boy. He'll take that if he has the ball there. Wow.
That's Tim Hardaway?
Wow. He's hit some big shots here. He got that friendly bounce.
There's still time for him to
Is Beasley not in?
No, I don't think so.
No, he's not. Damn, I'm not going to get that over.
That's a tough shot.
No.
He's all right. He's all right. He's hobbling. It's part of the Brunson experience.
Yeah. This is crunch time, folks.
Bad defense. That's just bad defense.
Too easy.
He's hobbling, but it's bad defense.
Tim Hardaway Jr. in the clutch?
Those are words that go together. I'm telling you, don't worry, he'll mess up.
Are they doing the Seven Nation Army?
Yeah, that's like a staple at every one of these games. He's trying to draw a foul.
I thought that was a Heat thing because they do that.
Who doesn't do it now? Tough shot.
Tough shot, but good.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I saw the lift on that.
Got to get stops. It's amazing how this game is opened up offensively.
Oh, my God. That was great defense, too. What a shot by Towns.
They're trying to get Brunson on Cade.
The screen from
That's what they're trying to do.
Neither team in the bonus, so both got a foul.
They're trying to get the mismatch because they're using the guard screener there.
Good job.
Stay on him.
Stay on him. Good job by OG.
Mid-range.
Good job. That's off.
Oh, he almost made it.
I was going to say, I'll live with that, though.
That's good defense.
Come on, Jalen.
1 minute left.
This is isolation all day. He's just going to try to tie it.
I'm okay with it. If the double comes, pass it.
Made the right pass.
He caught it down well.
Yeah. Oh, no.
That's good.
Let's go. Woo! Kitty Cat.
Big cat. Bodega Cat.
Oh, baby.
What a shot.
That was the yes shot.
I mean, listen, taking it off the dribble.
I loved it when it left his hand.
I thought that was a terrible shot.
Let's see it again.
When it left his hand, I was like, that might be good.
Yeah. This right here.
Are these some of the biggest shots Cat has hit in his career?
Ever. Yes.
This is outrageous. Step back 3.
He doesn't have a lot of these. So now people won't care unless they win the game.
Look at the fans on 31st. Look at them. Oh,
Party.
Man.
Now you got to get a stop.
Yeah.
Now I would assume here they're going to try to get Cunningham kick.
Oh yeah.
Or do you think Cunningham's going to take this himself?
Well, I think they're going to try to get the mismatch first. So if they can figure out a way to get Brunson on Cade, which the Knicks are doing a good job of rejecting, that's going to be their primary look. And then they're going to send help. And then
you may have to live with Hardaway or a Schroeder shot.
Yeah, I would.
You might have to.
I think I would bring in Beasley, but it doesn't look like they're going to. But not for Hardaway, because Hardaway's
hot right now. You got to keep him in the game.
Schroeder's been good, both ends. Tobias.
This is where you
Tobias
willing
has
a
gone
big
quiet.
Hardaway miss.
Oh,
Can you do that here? Kind of.
Here's the thing. If it gets
It's a
swung-
1-point game too, so they might attack the basket.
So how much time is we're inside 30 seconds?
And I think here's
How
the
many
thing
times we
too.
left? We have
You know what you
46
can
seconds.
try to
is it
do? You know what you can try to
2
do?
for 1.
They might.
Yes.
No, I think if you're Detroit, I think they might try to get. They could try to get Towns on Cade because Towns also has the foul trouble. And if Cade,
But you know
if
what? If
Cade's
you're
going downhill into Towns, he could draw that foul.
But at this point with 4 fouls, you don't care if you can. You defend.
yeah.
You don't think about that now
No,
in a 1-point game.
No, yeah, but I'm saying like, then he might send Cade to the line, which
Yeah.
is better than them just making a shot. But
It is, but if you have Towns, you try to defend it.
they're gonna try to get Cade in a mismatch. I think that's their first look, and then
No
maybe they'll
Towns.
look
Towns
at
is
shooters.
sitting.
Well,
Towns is
offense,
sitting. That's
defense
smart.
here from the
Yeah,
coach.
I like
But that's
this.
good because
Because you get a they
Mitch
score,
is
you're
on the
going to get a
floor.
timeout anyway.
I think they would have
Especially
attacked
because
Towns.
they kept Duran. There's no Beasley.
No Beasley, yeah. A little
Tobias
You
Harris.
surprising.
switch, that's okay.
Now you either switching or getting McHale.
Yes, Nick
That's
Paul.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Josh Hart.
And they can.
Wow. What a play.
Are we going to get a Fugazi review here because it's inside a minute?
Damn, you know it. You know it.
Let's see.
What a play.
That's
No,
off
that-
Cunningham.
That is off Cunningham.
Yeah, that's off his hands. Cade knows it. He didn't really protest it like that.
Good way to reach him without fouling by Josh Hart.
I don't even know if he got the ball. I think Cade just lost it once Josh Hart got
But
it.
just
in
even the threat of him
there.
swiping.
right. No,
that
exactly.
just-
That's great defense.
look, now the Knicks. Well, see, now here's the thing. This is the kind of possession that gets me a little nervous, guys. 37 seconds left. You're up 1.
Brunson ISO.
Don't get heavy into the ISO. You got to put pressure on the defense.
Now, here's the other thing I would mention.
Yes.
You're up 1. You almost got to go 2 for 1 here, don't you?
The thing is, I would
Don't you want to guarantee
something
getting
quick.
the ball?
back.
Yeah.
So I would want something quick at the basket.
Hmm.
I don't love because
I don't want to rush and take a bad shot, but I don't want to milk this 20 seconds down and
I'm
boom,
with
you're
you.
not getting the ball.
I
I'm
agree.
with you. So can you shoot the ball in 7 seconds? You got to go to some D'Antoni. 7 seconds or less, baby. You got to go 7 seconds or less. You got to because that's all you have. Because you got to think about some time on a rebound if possible, or you can get the ball back either up 2 or up 3. I wouldn't go for 3. I try to get a good look at it 2.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This is where you make your money in out of time after the timeout play. This is where coaches earn a lot of their money here. Knicks have a timeout left, 1 foul to give, which is huge for them on the other end, even if they miss the shot.
Look at
Huge.
that.
But that
Right.
changes the calculus, though, on the time. If you want to guarantee you getting the ball back.
This is true because maybe you do want to play it down knowing
Yeah.
you have the foul to give, right? And you could let them wind it down, take the foul where I don't know, wherever you decide in the coaching.
You know, with a
10 seconds.
1-point game, I want to make sure I'm getting 2 looks at this.
On the road, I agree with you. That does affect how I play. If it's me, I'm trying to shoot the ball by 30. I'm trying to get a play that's going at the basket.
And remember, you're getting the ball across half court here, too.
Mm-hmm. When we shot the Knicks, send somebody towards the basket here. OG is the guy that flashed. They go to the backcourt. Well, this tells me they're going to try to kill some time.
No, they're not in a rush
They're
here.
not in a rush here
Yeah.
at all. And it's probably because of they understand they got the foul to give in their favor. Somebody's got to come and set a screen. Make somebody else work into the action.
Duran's by himself. So Duran's supposed
It's
to
a
be guarding.
pretty crummy possession.
Duran's supposed to be guarding Josh Hart, and Josh Hart's just standing there, not like cutting, doing anything. He's just kind of waiting for an action or something. But Duran's just sitting in the paint, waiting for Jalen Brunson to get
Yeah,
by
this
Dennis
makes
Schroeder.
this makes this a lot.
Are the Knicks out of timeouts?
No, they have 1 left.
ESPN's not giving us the timeout breakdown here. They usually do.
Bridges.
I don't need Brunson inbounding the ball here.
Yeah, you don't want
Not
that.
with 4 seconds on a shot clock.
Yeah, because you got to give.
He ain't getting it back.
OG's so far in the corner.
That's
I
a good
like that.
pass.
Oh wow!
man.
You got the foul to give.
Gotta remember
Take
that.
it.
They took
Yeah.
it. That was smart.
I don't have Cat taking it. Well,
I do
he
actually
did
like
it. You know
because
why?
can get out
He
until
wanted to come out of the game.
Brunson in. I liked him taking it, actually. It
Here
didn't matter
comes
who took it, to
Deuce.
be honest. Deuce coming in.
Oh my goodness! What's about to happen?
Damn, I thought Brunson.
I
got a
mean,
good
he
look
couldn't
here.
have had a better
Take
look
off
at
ESPN
this.
from your laptop. Close it. Close it. Close it. Close it. Close it. Before you get a spoiler.
That's actually a great point, dude. That's why I don't do. By the way, I now in this day and now I still have cable, but I watch a lot of games with the YouTube TV. I have like multiple.
I have YouTube
screens.
TV also. We both.
I have muted notifications on phone now.
Yeah.
Because
Me too.
if someone is ahead of me, I will react when I want to react,
Yeah.
and then that's that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right. I've had Twitter muted for
Oh, you can't do
years.
Twitter. Because you know what it is? It's not the men and women's fault. They're covering games. They're reacting to what they see. They're ahead of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I only see notifications on Twitter if I open the app. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I
like going to Twitter during commercials. That's my thing.
That's how I do it too.
Nah.
Knicks still have their challenge. They have no fouls to give now. 1 timeout.
Detroit's out of timeouts.
Yeah, so they're going to go.
1 foul to give.
You almost got to make. Well, where are they getting this ball? Side out? It's got to be side out.
It's going to be side out.
You almost want to force this ball to go back into the backcourt.
They're going to look to Cade.
Our Knicks.
This is a Cade. This is a big boy pants moment for him. Cade has to try to win the game. You're a star player, and see if he can create a good shot for them.
It would be if the Knicks win this game, they will have won this game without.
Look at that! Look at that! 94-75.
That was the Celtic championship year.
Yeah. That's the last time the Pistons
won a playoff game at home. Let's hope it stays that way.
25, 10, and 10 for Cade.
He's had a very good game.
Yeah.
And I feel like he hasn't forced either.
Yeah. He's gonna be a problem moving forward. Oh, here comes Malik Beasley. Tobias Harris.
I'm gonna say I think the Knicks got to stop here.
I think so.
God, I hope you're right.
Is Schroeder out?
No, I don't think he's in the game. Yeah. They went Beasley. Hardaway's inbounding the ball.
Yeah, Schroeder's not in the game.
Yeah, he's not in the game.
Stay on him.
OG is on. Oh.
Missed it.
Knicks got the
timeout.
Oh, he fouled him. Did he foul him?
Yes.
Woo!
Let's go. No foul.
What a stop.
Bye-bye.
Oh. Bickerstaff is pissed. I thought they were going to call that.
Let's see it. I got to see it again.
Wow.
I mean, Cade, first of all, Cade couldn't have had a better look at the basket.
No.
Yeah, he shot earlier than I thought he was going to.
You know why, though? You want to do that down 1 because if you miss, the thought is you foul.
Yeah.
So the timing is not as shocking. I think, Brian, you felt like he was more rushed than that. But I thought the Knicks would get a stop.
Early.
Listen, we got to credit Knicks defense.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's see this replay.
So Cade gets the shot.
Great move.
8 seconds.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And then it's the way the ball bounced.
I don't know what.
So where were they looking for the foul?
Here.
Nope, Josh Hart did not foul him.
I don't think so.
That was him falling to the side trying to sell the foul. Josh Hart, look at this.
We need a close-up.
Nope.
No.
They're not calling that.
That's good defense.
That's good defense.
I think he wanted the body, but there wasn't his arms were straight up. He defended that the way he was supposed to.
I was surprised Bridges couldn't hold that ball. No, I like that. That's not a foul.
Like he may have moved his arm a little bit.
It seemed like Schroeder tried to sell it.
Not Schroeder, Hardaway.
All right, so the Knicks win. Big win.
Oh my goodness.
They stole that one too.
I believe
they stole that one.
I saw this graphic up. Brunson and Towns outscored the Pistons 23-22. 23-22 in the fourth quarter. It's Brunson's 15th game with 30-plus points. That's the second most in franchise.
He went over again.
I don't think I did good in terms of the bets today.
No, they said Beasley.
Hey, 6.5 Knicks live. I should have showed some stones that took them on the money line.
Honestly. I did take the Knicks money line. That did hit.
Yeah.
By 1 point, but it doesn't matter. It hit.
Look at that.
It hit.
15 in the fourth quarter for Jalen Brunson.
I said, would he have an 18-point fourth quarter? The Knicks get the win. They beat the fake bad boys. And they're up 3-1. How are we feeling, Knicks Nation? How are we feeling? JJ, you didn't feel good coming into this game.
Well, I didn't. And I felt even worse when they were up by as many as 16 points.
Yeah.
You see Detroit go up by 11. But why'd they win the game? Jalen Brunson brought him home in the fourth quarter. And Karl Anthony Towns hit massive shots.
Yeah, the shots that Karl Anthony Towns hit is really what did this for me, I think. Karl Anthony Towns hitting 2 improbable shots, really. Just the 3 very far away from the basket with time running out on the shot clock. And the fall away shot with Jalen Duren making a great contest. That was ridiculous. I think they stole this one, and I think they probably finished this in 5. We'll see.
And that cannot be understated.
Yeah.
The significance of this team not playing a long series with the idea of what's standing in their way.
Mm-hmm.
more than likely coming up next.
Winning 2 on the road.
You do not want to be going in with the way that physicality has been in this series, playing extra games.
Yeah.
So I know we're now looking ahead to game 5. We're doing it very quickly. If you're the Knicks, you do not want to be getting on a plane going back. You want to end it on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, again, Detroit hung tough. The Knicks won 2 games on the road. Point differential was 3 points total.
Finding ways to win.
Yeah. So, like, coming away in these close game situations, like, that's ultimately good for you. You win 2 playoff games on the road, you're taking that anytime. So
yeah, you'll take. Listen, I still don't think the Knicks have played their best basketball. I think you've seen variations of it at certain points. They have not played their best basketball, but I do think that there's something to be said about the grit. I once did an episode of New York Got Game this year where I said, "Is the Knicks' identity being clutch?" They've won some clutch games this season. This team has still been trying to find their identity, JJ, but they've been good in the clutch. And look, a lot of that is because of the guy they have leading them.
Clutch player of the year.
Clutch player of the year, right? Like, it helps when you have that. But they're finding ways to win games. They did this in a tough environment on the road. They won in different ways. 4 starters contribute well in game 3. They do not get that tonight, and they're still able to get it done. You got to be impressed. There's something about that. They're not playing their best basketball. The bench is still a concern. We know all this stuff. But other teams can fold. They did not fold.
Well, and what you like too,
yeah,
the new guys contributed from this standpoint. Bridges and Cat haven't been a part of these playoff runs the last couple of years.
Good point.
Bridges, offensively, was a nightmare. However,
2 big threes
when they were down 11 in this game, he hit 2 threes that kind of gave him a pulse, kind of kept him afloat.
Yep, I love that.
I destroyed the guy. Destroyed him. Still don't love his offensive game and what he's brought in this postseason all year, for that matter. Those are big shots. And then Cat, listen, that's tough. That's tough.
I would need to know from the Knicks fans where the level of respect for Cat goes, because those are some big time shots, particularly that one where he's fading away baseline on Duran. I mean, what's crazier, that or the step back 3?
Both. Honestly, like, he's been very good this series outside of the second half of game 2. Like, that's the one that everyone.
Bridges, I agree with that. He was really good in game 3.
Towns. Bridges. I mean,
Bridges' defense has been. That's the thing.
Consistent.
Give him
Yeah.
Really
the offense hasn't, but the defense has been consistent.
But I'll take that.
With Towns, he just through and through. Other than the second half of game 2, he's been very good this series. I know it's against the Pistons, so people will use that. But, like, we were talking about, they need to take advantage of Tobias Harris guarding him, because Tobias Harris has been doing a good job, but Karl-Anthony Towns is starting to expose those mismatches a little bit. And then with Jalen Duren, he has the quickness. Jalen Duren doesn't have the lateral quickness. Like, he's going to be better on the boards. He's athletic and things of that nature. He's going to be like a terror at the rim, but Karl-Anthony Towns is doing a good job of just creating in space, getting some of these looks, just making tough shots too. Like, that's just part of it also. So his shot making has been a big, big plus, and something that I'm not sure a lot of people would have relied on coming into this series.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it. Look, and I was just looking at this. The Bridges shots, and he only had 3 shots, those 2 threes, both in the fourth quarter. What did I say? He plays defense like, but he hits shots late. He started off 1 of 9. Who cares? Nobody's going to be talking about the 1 of 9. You talked about the other day. He didn't hit the shots, JJ, that you needed him to hit. He hits them here. Big-time shots. I think might get lost in this game. Big-time shots by Mikal Bridges.
Hey, up 3-1. Bottom line, go win this baby in 5.
I agree. All right, we got Brian Lewis here. JJ can stick with us for a couple more minutes before we let him go. But JJ, whenever you have to run, you can bounce. Brian Lewis of the Post is going to be joining us now. Brian, how you doing, sir?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Did that game? I know you're doing this as a fan, as a journalist, but that was the game that I saw you tweet about it and say it looked like 80s basketball. I like.
Yeah, man. No blood, no calls, and then and then we see the end.
Yeah, no, I like it. Josh Hart. No, what now? Let's go to that last play.
Yeah,
the very last play of the game, where you get a missed shot from Cade Cunningham. Mikal Bridges can't secure the rebound. It pops out to the corner. Dennis Schroeder pulls up for the 3. I thought it was a good live. I thought it was a good closeout by Josh Hart. He didn't give too much of the body. What did you think? JB Bickerstaff was not happy about that. What did you think about that the decision for the referees to let him play. But if I'm being fair, in my opinion, they've been letting him play all
The
game
entire
long.
game.
The
The entire
game.
game.
They
I
have
like
been
that.
letting them play the. Well, here's the thing. Listen. Yeah, I thought it was a foul. All right, but live by the sword, die by the sword. Yes, they've been letting everything go all day. All day they've been letting everything go. So I understand, without a dog in the fight, I understand how Bickerstaff's going crazy saying that's a foul because by the letter of the law, that looked like a foul. But I also understand how Knick fans are like, wait a minute now. You've been letting stuff go all day. They've been pushing guys on screens, moving screens left and right. They've been physically moving guys out of the way to clear a path for Cade. None of it gets called. Now all of a sudden you want them to be blowing whistles? So I understand fans from either perspective being angry about that one.
Look, I liked how this game was officiated. I thought it was the most consistently officiated game for the series. I was saying that with the guys here.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the shot making in this game, Brian, we were just talking about it. JJ and Brian and I were talking about this. When you look at the shot making, particularly from Karl-Anthony Towns, I mean, is that some of the biggest shots that we've seen out of Cat's career?
That shot behind the backboard, that was great. I mean, that's as tough a shot as you're going to see, and it's not like Duran's huge. So just the contest enough was going to be difficult, but the angle, that was fantastic. And then, the 30-footer would get lost in that, but
yeah,
that was fantastic shot making by Cat down the stretch of that game when they desperately needed every bucket that they could get.
Yeah, peace out to our guy JJ who had to run. We appreciate JJ for rocking with us. John Jastremski here. We have Brian Lewis, sports reporter for the New York Post, joining us here. Myself and Bryan Fonseca on the postgame show here after the Knicks have a thrilling 94-93 win over the Pistons. Brian, not Fonseca, Brian Lewis. Brian and I here were saying that the Knicks haven't even, we think, played their best basketball here yet in the playoffs. We have not seen that here, and yet they are here up 3-1. Does that tell you anything about this team, that there is a grit, a resiliency, a toughness that fans have sort of been looking for all season long, but are we seeing it here in the postseason?
Yeah, I don't know that they've hit their peak. They certainly haven't played the perfect game. I don't know that they've hit their peak, but I'll tell you what, though, if you wanted to see some toughness, you saw some toughness today, especially from Brunson again, where he goes out. What did he have? Maybe 15 after he came back.
15 in the fourth quarter after he came back from injury. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know that this is the highest that they can get because we haven't necessarily seen them put all of that together. Because I think Mikal has another gear beyond what he showed today. Whether you get that from him, I don't know. But there is still more that they have to give. But if you were just looking for an answer, if you were looking for a response, a physical response to the way Detroit played, I think you got that. You can't complain about that.
Nah, you can't complain about that at all.
Brian, do you think that we're learning something about this team that they can sort of carry on to the next series, which is going to be a vastly different level of competition? Not to totally look ahead, but we're all expecting Knicks Celtics. And maybe it's too early to bring this up, but this is what it is. This is what's staring at us in the face. Do you think we're learning something about how they're closing these games, how they've closed games during the season, but especially in this series, that they're going to be able to take with them in the event that those games are closer? Or is this just too far of a level that we don't know yet because Detroit's younger, inexperienced, Boston's defending champions, and the gulf between the two is massive?
One, I think not only are we learning things about them, they may be learning things about themselves, just in their ability to close out games. I do agree with you, though. These are not the Boston Celtics. And I say that with all due respect to Detroit. I think Detroit's good. I think Detroit's going to get better. I think they've got a lot of young talent on this roster that they have spent years and years and years of tanking to accrue. So I mean, there's talent there, but these aren't the Celtics. And the Celtics will be much better in end game situations than Detroit has been. Figuring out the end games is still something clearly that the Pistons are doing. Boston, I think, has more answers, whereas Detroit has questions. So, yeah, listen, I can't complain with the way that the Knicks have closed these games out. I think they are discovering themselves, okay, what works for us? What can we trust in the end game in those kind of sweaty palm moments? That's only a positive. But to think that Boston will help you the way Detroit has helped you is probably foolhardy.
Yeah, that would be foolish indeed. Do you think there's something? Because I love the question Brian asked here, but do you think there's something that can be taken for the Knicks, particularly in this game, where for most of the game it was Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart that were the more efficient players on offense, and not much from anybody else. Karl-Anthony Towns at points, but wasn't efficient at times. You pretty much didn't get much from Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, although I will not understate. Mikal Bridges hit 2 huge threes in this fourth quarter to cut it from 11, and I think another time, big threes.
Back to back.
And his defense has been really good. I think fans, if you're not watching both sides of the ball, you're missing that. His defense has been fantastic in this series. I think he deserves the credit for that. But the fact they were able to win this game, Brian, without Wingstop, as the fans have called them, really producing much offensively, is that big for their confidence? And they kind of got it done with defense in the fourth quarter too.
Yeah, agreed, wholeheartedly. And like I said, I mean, Mikal, I think he ended up with 3 steals.
Yeah,
and disruptive defense at points. Listen, his defense, there's no complaints with it. He played well defensively.
Yeah.
I think he's capable of more than 8 points. I think he's capable. I think there's another gear offensively that he can get to. But absolutely, I'd be very happy with the way they defended and the way they responded, particularly just in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Now, Brian and I was talking about this. Bench is a problem. Okay, we got to talk about it because at some point, maybe this is Boston, Mr. Lewis. Maybe it's there.
Yeah.
But you feel like this is going to come and bite them in the you-know-where because you got 5 points off the bench today, all from Miles McBride. You didn't get many minutes from Mitchell Robinson. Landry Shamet played, what, a minute, Brian? Played minutes
Landry Shamet played, they said a minute. I think it was a few seconds, but
okay. Well, depending on what agate you're looking at. Yeah.
Right.
I think Mitchell Robinson may have played 10 minutes, but like nobody coming off the bench played 10 minutes outside of
Robinson played 9 minutes and 4 seconds.
There you go. So no one played 10
Landry
minutes off the
Shamet
bench
played
other than
44 seconds.
44 seconds.
44 seconds.
And they
There
got
we go.
5 points off of the bench. I mean, Malik Beasley had 13.
Yeah,
I mean, by himself.
I
Dennis
guess
Schroeder had 6 and didn't even play all that great offense. So
yeah, and I guess off of that, what Dexter's saying, it's like, I mean, could they keep getting away with this?
Yeah, it feels like you're playing with fire here.
Like,
again,
like even
they're
Brian,
getting away
even,
with it
even,
far against Detroit.
Right. But even last
Detroit
game, they had 4 guys.
awesome.
You had 4 guys scoring 20 points each last game, and it still came down to the final possession, or the final possessions.
Yeah. Again, yeah, they have so far gotten, and I presume that they will, because now 3-1, we know how those series ends. Yeah, they have gotten away with it, but eventually, that's the kind of thing that'll bite you in the hindquarters against a better team. And let's be fair, Boston is not just a better team; they are a vastly superior team to Detroit, and I say that with all due respect to the Pistons. But I think most people view Boston as the odds-on favorite for this whole thing.
Yeah. By the way, Brian, I must say I haven't heard somebody pull out hindquarters in quite some time. But like,
I don't know what I'm allowed to say and not allowed.
I mean, we can say it a bit of an ass. We can say that.
Okay.
But
well, that's exactly where I fear it will bite him unless.
Yeah. I just thought that was exquisite use of the word hindquarters.
Yeah.
You don't get that much nowadays, and you have to when you are thinking of ways to the young folks looking at home. You have to expand your vocabulary sometimes, and that is a good thing when you can expand your vocabulary. How much credit, Tom Thibodeau's a coach we've talked about a lot. We can get to the minutes and the bench and all that stuff, but I think it's unfair. Fans are going to criticize him for things like this, but then also not look at the fact that this is a game where the Knicks were up 16. Mm-hmm. They went down 11. They were focused and had the drive to fight back. I don't want to say it's all coaching because I do believe players have their own agency here. They're the ones that have to execute out there, Brian. But coaches got to keep them together through those tough times and the timeouts and all that. How much credit of this should be going to Tom Thibodeau?
To me, Bickerstaff was already, behind the 8 ball in terms of coaching when he looked panicky and burned that challenge 5 minutes in. I was already saying, what are you doing? 5 minutes in, I was already saying, no, this could bite you.
Yeah.
So
we did too.
You did? Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We did. Yeah.
So now granted, it wouldn't necessarily have helped you on the hard, foul, no foul, whatever. I get that. But still, I thought Tibbs, with the exception of my quibbling over his distribution of minutes and or use of his bench, I think a fair amount does have to go to Tom. I mean, what's fair is fair. This is clearly a game that could have gone sideways.
Absolutely.
Detroit managed to re-engage that crowd and get them loud and get them going. That is a situation where you could get rattled. Or if you are rattled, you could stay rattled. Some of that credit does have to go to Tom. Absolutely. Now, yes, you're right. The players do have agency, and they're the ones that are out there on the floor that have to manage their emotions. But a good amount of that does have to go to Tom.
Nah, it's hard to say that it would not go to them. How confident are you? Looking at what you've seen through the first 4 games, Brian, love to hear your thoughts on this too. Mm-hmm. That the Knicks can close this thing out in 5, because I think a lot of the sense of the fan base will be, well, let's close out in 5. Don't play with your food. Don't exert more energy than you need to before you potentially have to face Boston in the next round. Do you think the Knicks can close this out at the Garden on Tuesday night?
If I'm going to assume that, that Brunson doesn't wake up tomorrow and his ankle is in horrible shape, if I'm assuming that this isn't just adrenaline that got him through this, right? Mm. And that he's healthy enough to play. I have to say, I have a little bit more confidence in them finishing this out in the Garden than I would have. Because I actually thought Detroit was winning this game.
Me too.
I thought it before tip-off. I thought it at halftime, and I thought it with 3 minutes left. So yeah, I'm a lot more encouraged now.
I'm curious about you saying that, though, that you thought they would win the game not before and not at halftime. I'm curious as how you felt when they were up 6. The Knicks were up 16 in the second quarter. Did you still feel Detroit was winning at that?
At 6, no, not necessarily. No. But I'm saying, I was very specific. I said at halftime.
Right, halftime was that's why I'm specifically asking, because I noticed you were specific.
Once they walked them down from 16 down and got it within striking distance
then you're
at
feeling
halftime,
Here it comes.
Yeah.
What we were concerned about, all of us, even John Jastremski was sitting here too, was we said it at the end of the second quarter. We was like, the Knicks need to close this quarter strong and need to finish ahead by double digits. If it gets to single digits, you're going to give this team life. And yes. I think the Knicks fan that is probably watching this post game and watch this game is going to say, I like the resiliency, but they might nitpick here and they might say, yeah, but they had him. They had him where they could put him away at home, and they weren't able to do that. And they made this tougher than they needed to be, and they had to hit these crazy shots, yada, 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 yada. What do you say to that? And how did the Knicks get better at putting teams away when they have them on the ropes like it appeared they had them, with about 3 minutes to go in the second quarter?
You're saying how do the Knicks do better at keeping their foot on them?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I thought that at that point, there were, and I think we talked about this earlier, I would like to see these guys adjust a little quicker end game, not end game, but in game, to how the games are being called. And I think that should be easier for the Knicks than it is for Detroit. Because Detroit is playing, again, with all due respect, with children. These are kids that are playing. The Knicks have a bunch of 27, 28-year-old, 29-year-old veterans that should be accustomed to the ebbs and flows of games and also accustomed to reading how games are being called. And if you are going to be allowed to do whatever you need to do and use whatever physicality is necessary out on the court, then you should adjust to that and use that. Right? And I think they can be better at reading that in real time, not at halftime when the coach explains it to them, not even during a timeout. You should be able to read that on the floor at that age, after 8 years of experience. Not some of these guys that are playing for Detroit, which have 8 months of NBA experience. That's one way that I think they'd be better. Now, that's a whole different scenario when you're playing Boston in TD Garden. That's a different thing, right? I'm saying in terms of this series, that's something that I would have liked to have seen them do better and would like to see them do better with on Tuesday when they're at home.
Yeah, it's going to be something to watch for them on Tuesday and see what they can do when they're home. Brian, anything else from you?
No, I think I just think Game 5 is going to be real interesting and see how Detroit's approaches. And I think because their approach today was not great until they got it together in the second half. And I wonder if they're going to try to beat the aggressor because, now their season's on the line. This is a backs against the wall situation. A lot of them don't have familiarity with that. And as it pertains to the Knicks, are they going to come out and try to beat the aggressor early, or is it going to be like, hey, we're up 3-1, we can kind of take a back seat here? I don't think it's going to be the latter. And I expect Game 5 to be an extension of what we saw in Game 4 and Game 3 and Game 2 and Game 1, where it's just been tight the entire time. Like it's 3-1, but it feels very much like a 2-2 series.
I don't know that Detroit has another gear. All right, in how they play. Maybe I would know that better if I was, if I covered them regularly. But when I have seen them in these games, when the Nets went out there, this is how this year, right?
Yeah.
This is how they play, right? So part of my complaint that I'm talking about with the Knicks in terms of reading how games are called, that's because, and maybe this is just because this is, an arrogance in expecting more from the Knicks. Detroit, when they're good, only plays one way that I've seen. When they're good and they're winning, they are going to be physical.
Yeah.
They are going to be more physical and more chippy and more aggressive than their opponent. The only way that I've seen them be good.
The only thing I would say to that, the only thing I would say to that is Detroit's other gear is just hitting shots, because they were 24% from 3 today. They were 38% from 3 heading into today, this series. And I think this is the only part that I guess worry about if I'm the Knicks. It's like, all right, does the Malik Beasley game, which has only happened one time in this series, is that going to be now, right? Is this going to be a game where he and Tim Hardaway Jr. are hitting shots?
I see. You said the Malik Beasley game. That's where I'm with you. It's more about, are both of those guys on at the same point?
Are Beasley, Hardaway, Schroeder going to combine for like 12 of 22 from three or something along those lines?
Okay,
like,
that's on me.
That's really what it is.
Clear. When I said I don't think they have another gear, I should have said I don't think they have another way to play.
No, I agree.
Works for them.
Okay,
I don't mean can they play any better? Yes, they can play better than this. I've seen them play very well this year. What I mean to say is, and I was trying to respond to your question about will they be aggressive when they come out? Mm-hmm. That's what we were discussing. And I'm saying when Detroit's good, they're always aggressive. And I mean physically aggressive.
I agree with that.
I think the Knicks, with a bunch of veterans, should be able to respond to how a game is being called, right? And if everything's going to be ticky-tack and they're calling everything, including you breathe on somebody with bad breath, oh, that's a foul?
I hope not.
But I'm saying, I think the Knicks, with their talent level, right, with Brunson's ability to draw fouls, with a 7-footer who can step out and shoot threes, right? If the game were called that way, where they call every damn thing, the Knicks should be able to read that quickly on the court without having to be told this by Tom and respond to that. If the game's called that way, I don't know that Detroit can respond. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think that's a really good point. I want to address something that we've seen as a comment here in the chat, Brian, because it kind of goes to something I was bringing up before to you and how I thought the fan base would respond, particularly to this game. I want to make sure I get it's Size 9 who commented here. He basically said the miracle shots, bro. Entire second half, Pistons look like a well-oiled machine. We, being the Knicks, can't keep relying on miracles. Is that fair?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to follow what the question was. What was it?
The question is that he thinks that the Knicks had miracle shots here. Miracle shots is what won them the game.
Well, when the one catch shot wasn't miracle.
Kind of. No, yes, he had two. He had two miracle shots.
You talking about the backboard, the one over
the backboard, and then the three from 30 feet or whatever.
30-footer. I mean, the 30-footer. Maybe it's semantics. The 30-footer was a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And on most nights, people would say, damn, did you see that 30-footer, Cat?
Yeah.
And I thought it was a terrible look. Especially with the clock winding down and the game situation.
Yeah.
The one over the backboard, that's a miracle. Right?
Yeah. It was clean.
That is a miracle.
Yeah. I thought the 30-footer was not your best look. But you got it. That's one where you got to tip your hat to an offensive player and just say, hey, man, the one over the backboard, I agree, is a miracle. Do I think miracle offense bailed the Knicks out? No, because I think you're not looking at the flow of the entire quarter. Brunson made big-time shots that were not miracle shots. The Knicks played good defense. They held them to 22 points. Brunson and Towns outscored them. I think to just look at the shot making is to totally ignore the Knicks defense and how good of defense they played in that fourth quarter. They responded. They responded defensively. Games are not won on just one end of the court. They responded big time defensively in that fourth quarter. You have to give them credit for that. And you know what? I also will say this. I think, Brian, all of us, we've been covering sports for a long time. Nobody gives a damn about how you win. If you win by 1, if you win by 16, nobody gives a damn. Win the game.
By any means necessary.
By any means necessary, word to the great Malcolm X, you win the game. And they went out there and figured it out and win the game. And this is where I bring my plea to the fan base that watches these, and we appreciate you. You guys wanted toughness. You've been asking for this all season.
Yeah.
How is this not it?
Yeah.
How is this not the embodiment of what you've been asking for? And so sometimes I think fans, they want the toughness, but then they want to win pretty by 30 points and not have the stress. I get it. You don't want to be stressed. I get that.
You could not be.
You know how happy I was today to see Liverpool win 5-1 and not be stressed and wrap up the title? Thrilled. I get it. But every game
and get a record that I did not think they were ever going to get. Tied Man United's record.
Do you know how happy I am about that, Brian? Do you know the only day that's going to make me happier is passing them.
Yeah,
that is it. I'm going to be thrilled.
And the sad part, that's going to happen. They will pass them long before Manchester United ever gets their stuff right.
Sounds like a lot of joy in your voice for hearing that too, and I like that.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all, because I like United and I have Liverpool fans that are just going to troll the living daylights out of me now.
I'm gonna be nice to you. I just made sure you had to look at the hat and the hoodie today. That's all. But I'm gonna be nice to you.
Lordy.
But okay. But overall, I think as we put a wrap on this, Brian, because we kept you long enough. I think we all sitting here looking at this game in LA. This is a good win for the Knicks, but I think we'd like to see how do they build on this in terms of closing out Game 5, and then also as they move ahead to the next series, if they are able to close that. I wonder, though, I guess the last question I have for you, Brian, when you look at a win like this and the wins, the way they've got them, particularly in this series, do we believe this is something that can sort of unify this Knicks team who has been labeled as being soft, not like last year's team, not having the toughness? Is this the kind of series that can help a team that changed 3/5 of the starting lineup and sort of bring them together moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Listen, I always think winning breeds winning. I do always think you can learn from this and take confidence from this, especially in those end game moments. Figuring out who you can trust in those moments, how you need to play, how every play, even off of the ball, matters. Yes, I do think it's something that can only help. Again, I'm gonna, I have to be the voice though and say this: Boston's a different animal. The Celtics are not going to just throw the ball away willy-nilly for an entire quarter and a half or an entire half like the Pistons did. Just heaving the ball out of bounds and kicking it off. They're not doing that. They're not.
Yeah.
Now I will say, yeah, I do think, if you are really physical with them, maybe you can surprise them. Because let's be fair, the Celtics did appear a little bit surprised by the physicality that Orlando brought.
Good point.
And Orlando, I see a lot of similarities. I think Orlando is more talented than Detroit, but you're talking about a young, physical team that likes to throw their bodies around. But we'll see what happens, because that's what happens. Boston actually has talent. Boston has tons of players. They griped about the calls, and we'll see what's probably going to happen is the refs will say, oh, yeah, maybe we should call more things, and then Boston will finish them off and probably send them back to Florida. But I do think Boston is a much, much, much greater threat that you're going to have to deal with in the next round. But just try to get through Game 5, try to close it out, and be able to rest Brunson's ankle, and then go into Boston as healthy as you can. Let's just worry about doing that.
Yeah.
Before we worry about, what that means for the Boston series.
I think
just
that's
try
fair.
to get there as quickly and as painlessly as possible.
Yep. I think that's more than fair. Take care of your business. Don't play with your food. We'll see what happens with the Knicks in Game 5 on Tuesday night. Bryan Fonseca and I will be here. Brian Lewis, you'll be with us too after the game. We thank you for joining us here after Game 4. And you can just say, go Liverpool. You never walk alone. I'm always with you, man.
Oh, that hurt.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you, man.
Right. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks for having me.
That's the great Brian Lewis, great sports reporter for the New York Post, doing a fantastic job here. Brian, this was a fun game. Fun times kicking it with JJ,
Mm-hmm.
kicking it with you. These have been fun through the series. It's probably been less nerve-wracking to watch, although all these games have been really tight.
Less?
Yeah, I mean, when you're having fun in it, having fun around work, I think it takes that. Maybe if you're home by yourself, it might be a little more stressful.
I guess. I'm watching you. I mean, you little tilt here and there. You know what I mean? The games have been close.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't know about the other games, but this game today, it's just I'm like birthday vibes. My birthday was yesterday.
Also,
Liverpool wrapped up the
2-1 lead is a little different.
Down down 2-1. You feel it might feel like
they were down in game one by I don't remember how much heading into the fourth quarter, but they were down, and then they went on that run. So maybe a little bit different emotionally there, obviously, than game 3 or game 4 for you, I would say. I think I don't want to just jump ahead to Boston here because I do think you have to close this because and the line's open. I checked because believe me, I'm gonna check. Knicks -5 is the line for game 5 right now. We'll see how it moves, where it moves. I'm not touching it. I have
my thoughts on that game already.
I would lean towards them closing it, but I think Detroit's they're gonna give you their best shot. What that looks like, is it like another awesome Cade game? Is it just shooting? I really think it's shooting. I think if I'm a team, if I'm any NBA team in 2025, and I don't have the talent equivalent to my opponent, I'm going to try and gum up the math, generate threes, not just jack them up for the sake of jacking them up, but I'm going to try and generate quality looks from the perimeter, from 3-point range, and that's how I'm going to try to close the gap. So if I'm the Knicks, you have to be prepared to defend the 3-point line in game 5 because they're going to try to get Beasley involved. That's where Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to try to do his damage. Tobias Harris could obviously shoot. Dennis Schroeder when he comes off the bench. Cade Cunningham a little bit as well. He's not going to take a high amount of threes all the time, but he can make them, obviously. And that's where I'm going to look to hurt the Knicks if I'm Detroit.
I would, because the Knicks haven't done a good job of defending the 3 all season, so I see the strategy in that. I think the Knicks are going to be in for a dogfight to start this game on Tuesday. And look, a lot of that has to do with the health of Jalen Brunson. We'll get more on that and have you updated on that and all that good stuff. But I have a feeling I think the Knicks are going to be very focused on closing this out. I think they do close it out. I predict them in 5, so I'm not backing away from it now. I think they do close it out, and they give the Garden fans something they have not seen in a long time, which is the Knicks win a series on their home court. Knicks have not seen that in quite some time. It's been a while since that has happened. Yeah. Hasn't happened in the last couple of playoff runs. I think they figure out a way to get this done. I think they know the importance of getting the rest for Jalen Brunson. I think they figure out a way to get some, but we'll see. We'll be back here on Tuesday night to talk about it. Another watch party. We'll announce the guest coming soon to join us. Shout out to our guest, John Jastremski, JJ coming through. A lot of fun with him. Check him out on The Ringer and check him out on SNY with his the New York podcast on The Ringer and his appearances on SNY. Check him out there. Trying to think anything else. Because we've done this, there will be no recorded version of New York Got Game this week. We will put out this post game for you to check out in case you missed it. It'll be up there. A lot of busy stuff going on with the playoffs. If the Knicks do finish off in 5, we will talk about doing some live preview for the next series. We'll get to that when it comes, but one step at a time. We're not playing without food. We'll look ahead when the time comes to do that, but it should be a fun one on Friday. I think if you're a Knicks fan, you should be excited about what you saw today. Was it stressful for you? Probably, yes. Does it show some of the grit and toughness you've been asking for? Yes. And I think there's some good things you can see out of that. We'll see how the Knicks look in that. We want to thank everybody, the fans, for tapping in. We appreciate you, everybody watching during the game and the post game. Of course, we got to thank Brian Lewis, our great reporter, for joining us on the post game, and all the people who made this possible. Producer Nick Federico, Tommy Cohen, Corey Porter on the editing, everybody putting everything up on social. We appreciate y'all. 3-1 lead for the Knicks heading back to the Garden on Tuesday. I think a lot of Knicks fans would have signed up for that one. You got exactly that. We'll see if the Knicks can do it on Tuesday night. He's Bryan Fonseca. I'm Dexter Henry. We'll be back with you on Tuesday night for another New York Out game live Knicks watch party here in studio.
Yep.
Stay tuned. Peace.